But here we go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, holy shit, I'm hot. In terms of volume, that is. All right, guys, we are live. Hey, guys, welcome back to the channel today on Tundra Talk. Looks like none of the stream settings that I set up in terms of the visuals saved, which is fantastic. That was supposed to be something completely different, and it did not save. I wonder why. Hey, what the hell? We're going to keep rolling with it. Man, that is supremely annoying. Oh, I wonder if it... No, it's not that. Nothing else is... Nope. Yeah, whatever. We're gonna roll with it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are live. This is the Tundra Nation episode number 9. Yes, the first one with some new toys. We have some fun stuff to play around with tonight. We're gonna be bringing you some hot coverage of some old topics because that's what we do. We're kind of like last week tonight here on Tundra Tactical, except more gun related. Hypo, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm surviving.
That's
Yeah.
outstanding.
Yeah,
That
you
is-
know, I'm vastly better now than I was earlier today. So
that's
I'm doing
outstanding.
good.
Well, that's good. You know, hey, in terms of what you had to deal with earlier today, could you go so far as to say,
Hell no, to the no, 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 hell to the no.
so that is, if you can't tell, ladies and gentlemen, that is not actually a Stream Deck. That is my brand new Go XLR. Yes, after 6 months of waiting, I finally got it, and I said to the Amazon order, I'm gonna have too much fun with this thing tonight. Hey, Hypo, f you.
God damn it, Fowler.
I've been playing with this thing all day. I've been having way too much fun. And you know,
fuck.
if my own voice isn't enough to convince you to love the Tundra Nation, then maybe Satan can convince you as well. Closed circuit from Satan to Hypoluxia.
Hey, Hypo. Hypoluxia, listen to me. I am the Colonel. I mean
Yes,
the
Dark
Devil.
Lord.
I mean the Devil. I command you to love me. Love me long time.
All right, guys, let's stop fucking around here for too long. I'm sure we'll have plenty of opportunity to go back and play with the Go XLR here while we're doing things. It's way too good. It's just way too good. I'm still trying to memorize where I set all my sound effect buttons. But let us go through. Actually, before we go, Hypo, who got it?
Oh shit. God damn it. Okay, so which stream? We talking about stream 1 or stream 2?
This stream, the live stream
This
right
one.
now. Yep.
Okay. Operator Tony.
No, he did not get it, unfortunately. Operator Tony was number 3. Mike gets the woohoo number 1. JBox702 follows it up with Hello Tundra Nation. Operator Tony following in number 3 at Here. Let's see. Damien says here as well. Outstanding. Great conversation so far in the chat. Trauma following up with the weekly live stream roulette. Yes, it is definitely going to be that way tonight.
Because I'm going to fuck you up.
Excuse me.
I'm going to fuck you up.
We're trying to censor ourselves here on the Tundra Nation. I keep doing it because it gets hypo every time. Let's see. Oh, we can't really hear me. Let's see. Apparently, let's see. Can you guys hear me okay? Because according to everything that I'm seeing, it should be coming through pretty good.
I hear it good on my side on the stream.
You
I
heard?
just unmuted.
Okay, so
Sound good.
Megan's texting me saying like she can't hear me. So, anyways, if Hypo says it's good, then we're good. Let's keep on rolling down. We got Brian. He's saying first to say first, and he is actually technically correct. So I would have accepted either Mike or Brian for that. Rectech saying right trauma. Carnage is in the house. Carnage Cares Incorporated would like to publicly apologize to you, Tyler. We sent you a case of Tyler's Tactical Beard Cream to you and Hypo, but only Hypo's got through. Resending it now. Cheers to you, buddy. Well, thank you, Carnage Cares and Carnage 1138. We very much appreciate that. You know, hey, it's just my luck that my branded beard cream got to Hypo first. And 7X Ranger's in the house. He's saying that Trauma Boogmaster. He got so drunk, or he's talking about himself. He got so drunk he bought a gun and forgot about it till the confirmation email arrived. Yes, that is the case.
Classic BMR.
Who else do we got here? We got Mario Mechanic Molina says, what's up for tonight, dude? Mario, we are just winging it. We're playing with some new toys here in the channel. I'm gonna scroll back down. Okay, everyone's saying I sound fine, loud and clear. That's great. Thank you very much, guys. Stand by one. You know, one of the most fun things about this Go XLR is all the faders are motorized, so when I mute they all go down and they all go like
nice.
boop, 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 boop,
How
boop.
satisfying that
It's
is.
super fun.
Jeez.
Lag Demon's in the house. What is he saying? Lag Demon said, here and ready for the dumpster fire. Well, you are in the right place, sir. We're happy to have you, and I can't wait to oblige your catastrophe seeking desires here, because man, is it gonna be a good time tonight. Let's see. Alpha Zombie Elite is in the house. Michael M saying Yee!
Did you catch the comment Mike said? He says, hypo smile could cure cancer. A couple lines later. Too bad he never does it.
Cause, you mean? I've seen his smile.
Well, possibly, yeah. It's pretty bad.
Hydrazine be damned. I'll lose my hair to that smile. Bryson Wester saying joining the Discord under a different username though, or different name though. I think we had this conversation the other week and I still can't remember who it was because I get too drunk when I do these. Who else do we got? We got Tranquil the Cat. That is a new name. He says, "Yeet boy." This is for you, Tranquil. Let's see. Empty-headed gamer says, "Hello, nurse." That is outstanding, man. That's a class. That's what, Animaniacs, right?
Animaniacs.
Yeah. See what?
Shit.
It's in the house right now. I got that. I got those old school references. I think like Animaniacs was like in the prime of my childhood. You were probably a little on the older end, so you were kind of like,
I was.
You were kind of like
the kids who were watching that.
You were getting the more adult jokes in that one, and I was I was just laughing at the "we're Animaniacs." See, yeah, that's
the flashing colors and
exactly
noisy sounds.
Who else we got? Dickie B is in the house. Ben W says, "Okay, I'm here. We can start. Thank you. I appreciate that." And of course we have Mr. Tufu. Tufu, I got something for you.
Hello, I need to speak to somebody who can speak a Chinese.
That's for you, my good friend. Mark Spivey says, "Here for the second time." Yes, thank you, Mark, for joining back on the correct stream this time. My dude's in the house saying, "Tundra Tactical, the OEG site of gun tubers." Yes, sir. That is probably correct. Boog Brand says, "No bean." What the fuck? We'll get there. And you call yourself a Texan? Who said I was calling? Oh, he's not talking to me. He's talking to somebody else. For those who don't know, the nickname for my daughter is the Bean. Megan, of course, is in the house. Crazy Eyes saying, "Wait, what?" Don't know what he's saying, "Wait, what?" to, but hey, I'm sure I missed something in there. Richard Olson saying, "Starting off completely dialed in as per usual." Yes, that is the case. If you guys are unfamiliar, if you're tuning in for the first time, first of all,
we're sorry.
Where have you been? Second of all, we apologize to the greater population of humanity here that we may or may not represent. And welcome. Prepare for debauchery, chicanery. Great vocab word, by the way, chicanery. That is a seriously that is a seriously good tomfoolery, skullduggery. You know, that type of stuff. That's kind of what we do here. That's our forte. Every Saturday night, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. We kind of carve that time out for the degenerates of the gun world to congregate into one place and express their opinions in a semi-orderly manner, because it is moderated. You can't say whatever you want because this is not a fucking democracy.
This is a goddamn dictatorship.
And I run it. Ha ha! All right, let's keep going down roll call. Anubis saying yes. Okay, this is getting to the point where I was asking if I was sounding good. Tufu says OMG. Tufu, one more time, just in case you missed it.
Hello, I need to speak to somebody who can speak a Chinese.
Somebody.
Guys, how are you all doing tonight? Give me a shout out in chat. Use the @Tundra Nation to tell me how you guys are doing tonight. I can tell you I am having a fantastic night tonight. I had to drag that one out while I found the button. I'm having one of the best nights of my life. This is fantastic. I'm having so much fun. Do me a favor, guys. I've got a couple, so I've got the Stream Deck set up as well. Yes, and a new headset. So these are the Razer Nari Ultimates. I had to get them to run them into the XLR, the Go XLR, because I used to own a wireless or Bluetooth headset only. That doesn't work very well. Yeah, they're fantastic. I love them. Quite good sounding. Although I will say, I do not like haptic feedback in my headset. Can you imagine that? I know. Can you imagine that? It's like every bass note, and this is only like at like 50% intensity. So I'm sitting there, I'm playing Arma.
Oh shit!
And it's just like it feels like a fucking earthquake in my head.
Could you imagine if you had those on the night that Big Josh just let one rip right into the microphone?
Yeah, it
would have probably actually hit.
I would have felt it.
Head exploded.
Yeah, I would have felt it. I would have felt it. Let's see. My dude says at Tundra Nation, doing awesome. Had my first IDPA match today. Outstanding. And currently trying to find somebody who speaks Chinese for Tufu.
Hello, I need to speak to somebody who can speak a Chinese.
It's going to be so perfect. Thank you, my dude, for setting me up for that. Dr. Catmilk says at Tundra Nation, I'm on the right side of the grass at least. Hey, man, at least you're walking on the grass, not growing it. That's what my grandpa always used to say. So appreciate the positive sentiment here on the Tundra Nation. We don't always get that. So we love to hear and see that positive statement or that positive sentiment. Guys, do me a favor, tell me, use the @Tundra Nation tag, tell me how you guys are doing in the chat tonight for a quick little shout out as best as I can do it, and we will move on to some housekeeping. Quick little note of housekeeping here, guys. Obviously, we did not get a video out this week. That was due to some unforeseen consequences / circumstances due to the technological realm shitting all over my chest. My old computer bricked itself this week, and I tried my damnedest to get it back up and running to get a video out to you guys, and unfortunately it just did not work out. The build was completed yesterday, and it is a significantly awesome build. I'd be happy if you guys are interested to know what we put in the new Tundra rig. We can go over that a little bit later. Later on. Make sure to use the @Tundra Nation tag so I can see it. But yeah, I apologize to you guys. I know I don't have to because it's my fucking channel, and who are you guys to criticize me? I will... Oh, hold on, I'm not cued. You out of this place. But I appreciate you guys being patient. The goal for next week, because I'm still working on the tank video, the goal for next week is to show you guys how catastrophically terrible I am at building computers, because I did film bits and pieces of it. I've got about an hour's worth of video that I can chop together and show you guys if you would be interested. Mike says at Tundra Nation, did 2 rounds of sporting clays today. Between 2 rounds, fair enough, 108 rounds. Outstanding, dude. Empty-headed gamer says, oof. Okay, can I get this one right? There we go. I'm still memorizing where all the pads are. Parts list, yes, I will. Tony, remind me a little bit later on and I will go over it with you. My dude says specs, we need specs. We'll get there. Okay, cool. Guys, just remind me a little bit after Hypo's hot takes before we dive into Ask Tundra Nation tonight, and we'll go over some of the cool stuff that we purchased for the new Tundra rig, because in my opinion it is quite impressive and we're very happy. Before we get to the rest of housekeeping, however, it sounds like we have our extra special guest ready to hop on the stream with us tonight. We have little Miss Ellie Bean hanging out, saying hi to the nation. Hopefully she doesn't hook her legs around the new microphone cable. Oh, she just wants to stand right there. Say hello, little Bean.
Hi, Ellie. I'll be right back, Tyler.
Okay, that's my face. No, that's Daddy's very expensive microphone. You can't use that. No, you cannot. Yes. There, you can sit like this. You want to wave to the chat? You want to wave to the chat? So everybody say hello to the Bean. She is doing awesome. She's had a heck of a week herself. She's got a lot of outside time shopping for computer parts with Daddy and Mommy, and going to do all kinds of crazy different stuff. We've had a pretty good week, haven't we? Yes, we built a computer. We're eating like kings. We had slow cooked barbacoa beef yesterday, and shrimp ceviche, which is much better than it sounds, at least initially. Ellie wants to kick this table. I apologize if that's causing feedback. She is just a squirmy worm tonight. Yes, little Bean, I know. You are just, you're little baby Godzilla. You just want to destroy everything, don't you? She's doing like her superhero stance right now where she could see it. So you have had a big week, just rocking and rolling, getting all that cool stuff ready for the Tundra Nation, right? And then of course Mama Mego in the background, making sure that Ellie Bean is getting taken care of and the show can go on, even in its kind of pseudo reduced capacity at this particular moment. So thank you guys once again for being patient. Let's all give a round of applause to the littlest of beans and the best of Megos, Mrs. Mama Mego herself, as I hand the baby back because she is being way too squirmy for me to continue doing this chat, managing a little 1-year-old and talking to you guys at the same time, because most of you all out there, including myself, have about the intelligence and social skill levels of Ellie. So looks like Hypo is back. Hypo, you have any cool announcements? Anything happened to you interesting this week outside of getting shit on at work?
Yeah, actually, I had a pretty big shout out to one of the guys in the Discord. A couple days ago, I hit up the Gun Advice channel and asked if anybody.
Real quick, while you're explaining this, guys, I will be doing some technical stuff in the background. The scene may switch from bit to bit, but just listen to Hypo's soothing voice.
Should I just bring the reverb up and talk real quietly to them? No. So a couple days ago in the Gun Advice channel, I had asked everybody to kind of keep an eye out.
All right, now we should be back. Should we be back? We're back? We're back? We're back. All right. Sorry about that, guys. There's always something. There's always something. Now we're a little hot on this end, but hey, we'll deal with it. Give me a check 1, 2, and then go ahead and repeat your entire bit. Now it's super quiet. It's all right. We'll just go back to this. All right, now we should be good.
No hypo. Can you guys hear me?
Now you should be good.
Okay. They're still saying no hypo.
It'll come back. It'll come back because now I'm back on the original scene.
Okay.
Give me a check 1, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2.
Check 1, 2. And good now. Good now. Good now. All right. Long story short, getting shorter, is that I'd asked the nation to keep their eyes out for Jericho 941 PL, and Cypher of the Discord came back Thursday and said he had found one in a gun shop in Tennessee. The abbreviation for the gun shop was Smegma, which was great.
That's perfect.
Yeah, I loved it.
Can't make that up.
Immediately saw that, texted the wife, said, hey, look what I found. She goes, oh shit, okay.
You could almost say it's like Stumpy Meg. I don't know.
Stumpy Megma.
Like Stumpy is her
Stumpy
gun, right?
Megan, yeah. Oh yeah, and Stumpy's getting an overhaul too.
Yeah.
There's gonna be lots of pictures. Yeah, it's gonna go full meme.
Full meme. She's already got me looking for phosphorus paints and neon colors, and yeah, dude, it's going fucking straight unicorn.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, longest story short, repeating over one more time. Cypher, thank you. I appreciate it. The nation's awesome, and the Jericho will be arriving Monday.
That is pretty freaking outstanding, man.
Vegas.
Yeah, like I love it.
Super happy about it.
I really do love it when people in the outside of the two of us or the moderators or things like that kind of come together to help everybody out. It's a cool place. And that kind of leads us into the closing end of housekeeping here. If you guys want to be a deeper part of the Tundra Nation, yes, you can follow the link in the description below or follow the links posted in chat by either Operator Tony or Hypoluxia here to our Discord. Actually, don't follow the link in chat. I'm sure that's dead by now. I was too excited to play with this thing and didn't update the link. So, hey, what are you gonna do? But we do have an official Discord server. We're a little bit over 1,000 members, so the chat is very active. We play video games all the time, have a lot of fun, talk a lot of guns, and a lot of other things, it turns out. So if you want to experience this show essentially 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, maybe play some video games with myself and Hypo when he has time, along with some of the other notables in the Tundra Nation, like N7X Ranger, Boogmaster Ranger, Dickie B. There's a ton of people on there. My dude's on there. He plays games all the time. So if you guys want to get a little bit closer to the Tundra Nation, come on in. The water's just fine. Have a grand old time. If you feel like excuse me, if you feel like supporting the Tundra, yeah, I know, that was a Scotch belch for you. If you guys feel like supporting the Tundra Nation a little bit more and maybe tossing a couple of the hard-earned Copex our way, we don't necessarily require anybody to do so. Obviously, it does not get you any special or extra standing here. We are very and genuinely appreciative of it, but we don't lock anything behind a paywall, so there's no real motivation for you to do so other than the fact that you really like the show. As you guys may well know, YouTube has been on a demonetization campaign against us, and we've lost a significant amount of the monetization opportunity on old videos, which kind of sucks. But the good news is, over the course of the last couple of weeks, a lot of people have stepped up on Patreon and via PayPal to help compensate for that. And what I'm looking to do by probably the end of the year is actually completely move away from monetization altogether through YouTube. I'm just gonna put all of our videos as unmonetized if we have the support of the fans. So if you never want to see another YouTube ad, if you never want to fuel the coffers of our YouTube overlords ever again, you can find us on Patreon and support us there at patreon.com/Tundra Tactical, or our preferred method is direct through PayPal using the email address tyler@tundratactical.com. That is tyler@tundratactical.com. And I believe that wraps up housekeeping. Let's see if we have any shout outs to make, because I also got a new phone this week. And it does look like we have a couple of shout outs to make. Stand by one as we get logged in. Man, I'm just going like a million miles an hour. 50 bones coming into PayPal from Stephen Hunt, Mr. Dickie B. He says, Slider, you stink. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words and motivational opportunity for you to speak. Very nice to me. 30 bones coming in from Brian, and if it loads, which it does not want to do, of course, and of course it went away. Brian drops 30 bones in the PayPal as well, guys. If you want to follow Brian and Dickie B's example, all you got to do is find us on PayPal, using the email address tyler@tundratactical.com. Once again, also at Patreon, at patreon.com/Tundra Tactical. Hypo. Should we do the last week tonight bit?
Last week tonight. Let me just get one more bit of housekeeping in there, which is for everybody who's been waiting for version 2.0 of the shirt.
Oh yeah.
I've been working with a few of our moderators, and 7X Ranger put together a list of the people.
Thank you, Ranger.
And he's trying to censor me, but that's fine. We'll continue to push forward. I'm an artist and I can't be stifled, but that should be coming in the next 2 weeks or so.
Do we have a date on the Uwu Fox 2 shirt yet?
Chinese speaking. I don't understand what you're saying.
Hello, I need to speak to somebody who can speak a Chinese.
Uwu Fox 2 is I started working on that a little bit, doing a sketch for it. So probably a month.
Okay.
We'll see the first real good designs on a t-shirt.
I didn't miss your PayPal yet, Ranger. I haven't seen it yet, dude. You sure you got money? I'm just kidding. Yeah, it seriously has
money on guns. I don't
know. Let's see. I have not seen it. Let's see if I can log direct in. But yeah, that completes the housekeeping section of the Tundra Nation for this week. And Ryan Burton drops the 15 bones in. He says, please be nice to me, Dad. That is why I don't read your comments live on the air. Ranger, you are a fool and a big... All right, let's move on into...
Hypo's Hot Takes. Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
Hypo's Hot Takes is the section of the show where Hypo gets to take over for a minute, pose a question to myself and the nation, and we get to answer it and discuss it live on the air. And I led into this kind of teasing it a little bit, saying we're going to go the last week tonight bit, because you know the nature of our show and the time frame that we live in, all the stuff just, I don't know why, it just seems to happen like either right after the show ends, like the day after the show ends on like a Sunday, or on like a Tuesday. So we're always like the last people to get to discuss it, which kind of sucks, but hey, it's just kind of the way it is. And since we haven't covered it on the channel yet, it has been covered ad nauseum, but we're going to take our crack at it, our stab at it, and see what we can do with it. So Hypo, go ahead and take her away.
I want to pose a question. How do you feel about bullpups, Tyler?
Yeah. You mean those XR-15s?
How do you feel about those?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ones that when you drop them on tables, the bolt goes forward and they shoot.
Obviously, you guys know what we're talking about at this point. The old Grandmaster J. Hold on.
Grandmaster J.
Yes, he deserves that kind of an intro, because he's about as foolish as that voice sounds. Let's talk a little bit about that, Hypo. What do you want to know? What do you want to see? Should we watch a video? Should I see if I can pull up the video?
Yeah, see if you can pull it up. You get the second scene going?
Yeah, I think I did. Hop on to the stream itself and tell me what you see. I'm just going to go like this. I do believe that people can hear me. I'm not sure if they can hear you, however. And I'm going to pull up this bad boy and this bad boy. And let's see what the stream has to say. So we'll kind of give it a second. I'm still talking to the stream. Guys, let me know if you can hear me. It has to be covered. It has to be covered on the show because it is like this content was made. Interesting. This content was essentially made for the Tundra Nation. I'm waiting to, okay. Just waiting to see if anyone else has, okay, cool. So I'm gonna play this. Guys, let me know if the audio is actually going through. I think it should be. Like I said, I'm playing with new equipment here. But anyways, here's Grandmaster J. Let's rock and roll. Is there no audio? Okay. All right, so we'll have to play around with that maybe some other time. You guys know the video. Get the bit that we're going through here. Oh, you know what? Interestingly enough, it's actually playing here as well. Let's see if we can keep going through here and see if it comes through. Just for testing purposes, I want to see if you guys can hear this here.
This bitch will knock you the fuck down. This is my first weapon.
All right, we'll play it here.
That I ever bought. Bought this weapon back in 1990 in Germany. This is an XR-15 shorty. We call it a bullpup because this bitch got kicked to it. This bitch will knock you the fuck down. The interesting thing about this weapon is if I pull back the bolt, see that? See the bolt? There's no bullet in there. Pay very close attention. If I'm not paying attention and I take this weapon and I bang it, look what just happened. The bolt goes forward. The weapon has fired. I didn't touch the trigger. I just simply banged it on the table. If you sit down and you bang this on the ground, you will blow your head off.
All right there, Grandmaster J. So, like I said, I know this topic has been covered ad nauseum. I want to give actually a shout out to somebody I don't normally give a shout out to here on the channel, and that would be Tim from Military Arms Channel. You know, Tim's a little up, little down for me in terms of his content. I love the guy himself. He's a really good dude. He's been super nice to me. Doubt he knows who I actually am, but in the few times I've met him, he's been a super nice guy. I'm a little hot, little cold on his content because sometimes he can go a little off the deep end, but he made a phenomenally good response video. Shout outs in chat if you guys have seen Tim from Military Arms Channel's response to this video. I don't even think we need to watch anything more because like that was the main thing. That's the main thing that everyone's like narrow beam focusing on. There's a lot more to that video and there's a lot more that's wrong with that video. But here's the thing. We all out there in the chat, or maybe not, and it's okay if you don't know this, but he's lying. He's absolutely like nothing about that is true. The only thing the only thing that you're doing when you bang that rifle on the table and that bolt goes home is what?
Well, it's gonna just chamber another round.
You're loading
the
rifle. Yeah, exactly. You're not shooting it. It's not a slam fire weapon. We're not talking about an open bolt pipe gun here. Man. I wish we were. How cool would that be? Right? How cool would that be if we had an open bolt like pipe gun AR? That'd be dope AF. And I'd be asking him. I want to know if that's the truth.
The AF-15.
I want to know where the ATF is knocking on his door. Oh, God damn it. FBI, open up! Hypo, I wish you could have heard that. But unfortunately, it's FBI, but ATF, you get the same point. Like, seriously, the only way that his explanation works is if that's a full auto gun. And then it's a slam fire gun, then it's a full auto gun. She's going to be ripping rounds like there's nobody's business.
A completely uncontrollable full auto.
Like it just doesn't stop.
Yeah, you put the magazine in and you bang it against table, and then you can put a new lamp in because you got holes in your ceiling.
Right. Dickie B says, so XR15s don't have PPSH style firing pins. No, apparently. Well, I mean, I guess according to this guy, they do.
Man, we know he's the kind of guy though that would tell you that if you file down the firing pin, it goes full auto.
Yeah. So here's my greater issue with this whole thing. Like everything about this video is meme worthy. And one of my favorite things that Tim called out in that video is he never does it with a live round. And it's not for the sake of safety, right? It's for the sake of if he did it with a live round, everyone would know he's fucking lying, right? So like he's actually, like, I'll give him this. He's actually kind of clever. I'm gonna say this. I don't like the guy. I think he's a massive, gigantic tool and douchebag in every sense and fashion of the word. But he's clever. Do you know why I say that?
Well, because he's managed to avoid all the things that would call bullshit on him.
Not necessarily. I mean, you know, the trained eye can call bullshit on everything that he said, but let's be honest here. Trained gun owners make up, what do you think a percentage of overall gun owners? Trained gun owners make up what?
Maybe 10%.
Okay. So 10% of the 100 some odd million firearms owners out there can call that as it is. Where he's clever is everything he says taken at face value to the untrained eye seems very, very plausible. You know,
and he is on video showing people.
Yeah, if you're a brand new shooter, right? If you're a brand new shooter, you see that bolt slam home. That's the hammer falling, right? My bolt cycles every time I pull the trigger. They don't make the connection that it's like a disconnector or a sear or a hammer, or, you know, there's other mechanical aspects.
Thing that's smashing into the bullet,
right? And one of the other awesome things that Tim does in that video, and I think that technically he did get something wrong in the video, in his response video. He said, I believe, that it was an A4 pattern rifle, and if we go back to this. Oh, it is an A4. Never mind.
It's clearly.
Yep, it is an A4. Okay, I didn't see the rail. So one of my other favorite things where you can really tell this guy's lying is he says, I got this weapon in Germany, which I don't know of anybody who's ever gotten a weapon in Germany that's been able to take it back to the States. I mean, maybe there's one or two people out there, but I'm pretty sure this guy didn't. It sounds like he was in the Army at some point in time in his life. Probably not terribly good at it, considering the information that he's given. But I believe the A4 pattern rifles didn't even start getting into like test service until 94. If I'm wrong, correct me in chat.
I'm not sure about that. Yeah.
Somebody in chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but when did the A4 pattern rifles come into service? He says 1990. I'm calling BS on that. And then on top of the other stuff that he goes on and on about with with just the bad information, it's clearly BS. It is clearly BS. My dude says at Tundra Nation, he was the same guy that asked, how did this happen, when the guy went, oh god. Yeah.
He kind of looks like that guy from that the Army fails videos where he puts the mag in and he pulls the trigger and mag just falls out.
Oh, so Big Fun says at Tundra Nation, a lot of guys got guns in Germany and they were able to bring them back to the US. Most of them were in the mid 1940s. I don't know of anybody who went to the Germany in the 90s and got to bring their service rifle back home with them. And I don't know of any M16 pattern rifles that were sold in Germany to United States citizens or military that were able to bring them back. Like, come on. So Operator Tony says, when I was in 01, 03, we had M16A2s. Yep. I mean, even when I went in, like right away, we were still running A2s, and we were just kind of transitioning to the M4s. We never got M16A4s, but we're just transitioning into the M4s. So like this guy is so full of shit. It's not even funny. Well, actually, it is kind of funny. And obviously, over the course of the last week and a half, we've had a pretty damn good time laughing at the dude. To the point where I think, like, we really had to search for this video. I think he yanked it.
I think so. I think what I need to do is do a remix of this in Chocolate Rain.
Oh my God, can we do that? Like, can that be our project for the week? Would you guys like to see an auto-tune remix of this guy's? Do you think we could take care of that in a week?
Beautiful.
Do you think we could take care of that in a week?
Yeah, absolutely.
An auto-tune remix?
That's a couple hours worth of work, but yeah.
All right, sound off in chat if you guys want to see an auto-tune remix of this. And we'll do it. But back to my original point. So the scary thing about this video is, to the untrained eye, to the untrained ear, and to the untrained shooter, maybe not necessarily untrained, but just the person who's not analyzing it closely enough, a lot of this seems plausible. And even more so, like, extending it out past the shooter community to the uneducated non-shooter, or I shouldn't say uneducated non-shooter, just to the average dude or gal who's not into the shooting community, everything seems totally plausible. 1990s in Germany, it looks like a 1990s to 2000s to modern weapon, right? They've seen AR-15, maybe some people know it was part of the 94 assault weapons ban. So they can kind of make those time frame correlations, and they say, oh wow, everything about this is actually seeming true. And that's the danger of this video, and one of the reasons why I'm happy it took us so fucking long to find it, because I do think the guy pulled it. I do think he couldn't take the criticism, obviously. Like, he was getting so butthurt about getting called out. Like, I don't know how you can release a video like that to our community and not expect to get called out. Yeah, well, not a bad point, honestly. Not a bad point.
That dude does this shit for a living.
You know what? I never thought I'd say this in a million years. But credit to Voda for at least not taking the videos down.
And owning his nonsense.
Yeah. I mean, it's absolutely astronomical, or like astronomically insane to me, but it's terrifying that a video like that can get, because I mean, we saw the responses. We saw a ton of people saying, oh my God, that's the most dangerous thing ever. We need to get rid of these right now. I saw plenty of my non-shooting friends, sharing that video, completely ignorant to the actual message of disinformation, and trying to, sway the blame away from just an idiot in his organization with a gun NDing into the concrete. How do we combat that? Like, in the overall, like, do we fight fire with fire like we did? I mean, because let's be honest, it was effective. The video was pulled down.
Oh, yeah.
Do we just fucking attack with the memes and the criticisms and the snarkiness and just like literally like beat this person into the ground with their own stupidity? Or is there like a moral high ground we can take?
Yeah, I think that there's a place where you have to be really careful with that, because what you're doing is essentially you're elevating that to a point of celebrity in people's eyes, and they see that, and the untrained people that don't understand what the 2A community is talking about, or even want to believe us, will see that more so than they would if we didn't actually thrust that into the limelight.
I think that there's a major benefit to our niche group. That 10% that we're talking about, a lot of the people in the chat here and a lot of the people that we associate with in the GunTube community. I think that there is like almost a cathartic effect that like it has when we just rip it, just tear it apart and roast the hell out of it.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's nice to call people on their bullshit like that.
Like I said, that bit. And I'm so mad. I'm so mad that it was this week that my computer went down, because I had a plan to use that in the video. And I'm so mad that this was the week that my computer went down, because next week it's going to be too late. The meme's going to be old hat, old news. So I won't really be able to use it. But this bit was made. It was made for Tundra Tactical. It is the most roast-worthy segment of firearms-related talk, I think, probably ever released on camera. Can anyone out there in the Tundra Nation find me a more roast-worthy section of video? Empty-headed gamer says, at Tundra Nation, the problem with that is you're basically bullying him into silence which, while in this case he does not require him to. Okay, yeah, exactly. It does not require him to be wrong. And that's kind of the point that I was trying to make, is if we fight fire with too much fire, then we're kind of painting ourselves as the aggressors and the bad guys. You know, we're being too aggressively defensive, maybe. And a lot of the times, you know, with our community, while we get like aggressively ironic, and a lot of us kind of get the bit, when that gets out, you know, and this is something that Tundra Tactical kind of has to worry about, is like, if that snarkiness and that satire and that sarcasm gets out, you know, we're not exactly always like obvious about it. I mean, hell, you look at our comment section, half the people in the comments don't even get that the fucking bit's satire. They think we're like actually making fun of them.
Yeah.
So that is like, that's one of the things that I am constantly thinking about in relation to subjects like this, is how do we tackle this and make it like abundantly obvious that, number one, this is horribly bad information, and number two, this guy's a fucking idiot, and number three, we're going to make fun of him, but in the best way possible for education and the industry, because we got to keep the Tundra touch, right?
Sure. I think one of my favorite videos in response to this was actually one of our members, Pew Pew Park, who just did a very short video with his AR and pulled the buttstock out, held the bolt open, smacked it, nothing happened.
Yeah. Yep.
Slammed the bolt home, nothing happened.
Yeah, and that's, you know, that's also one of the reasons why I like the Mac video so much, is because he did every iteration of it. He did it with the, you know, magazine unloaded. He did it with a round in. He did it with, you know, 3 rounds straight through, safety on, safety off, like every possible thing that you could imagine. But the unfortunate piece is how many people outside of the GunTube and GunTube fan community saw Mac's video or saw Pew Pew Park's video.
Very true. Very, very true.
So
and it's a very small portion of people that are actually going to see these attacks on that.
Yeah, VSO did a great video as well. VSO's was perfect. Curtis is always on point with that type of stuff. If you guys aren't familiar with VSO gun channel or Curtis, please subscribe to his channel. If you're looking for like the most significantly thorough tests of all time, you'll find him there.
And some of the driest, funniest shit ever.
Yes, definitely. My computer needs to restart to complete your audio software installation. Do you want to restart now? No, I do not.
Does Windows not know we're doing something important here?
Apparently not. My dude comes on to say, at Tundra Tactical, plot twist, that dude is an insert from the Illuminati to convince the masses that the XR-15 is a horrible weapon. Richard Olson follows that up with, at Tundra Tactical, that is why part of me thinks that it was an act, a setup made to scare the uninitiated into fearing guns even more. See, I don't, Richard, I think like to an extent I can believe that, but being that this came after, like as a response to a member of his organization very publicly, with a ton of news coverage, negligently discharging, I believe an AR-15 into the concrete and injuring 3 people at a rally of some kind, at a protest of some kind. I think that this was his attempt to say, no, it wasn't my guy's fault. It was, if you do this to an AR, yeah, you know. So number one, okay, why are you, if you're the leader, why are you authorizing your crew to carry that weapon if that is in fact the case, which it's not, obviously. And number two, you still have to negligently use the weapon. Even if that was the case, you negligently have to use the weapon in some way, shape, or form to get that to happen. You just do. And if it's that unsafe of a weapon, once again, why do you have it in the first place? We all know that the AR-15 is one of the safest weapons in the world. Yeah, exactly. The AR-15 is one of the safest rifles in the world when used properly or improperly. It has a fantastic system to prevent that bullet from firing. A safety, just like pretty much every other gun. Renders it pretty much completely ineffective. We're not talking like early gen Glock, or not Glock, but P320s here, right? We're talking a platform. Okay, like
guns don't kill people. Here, like, hold my beer, P320.
Here's my ultimate argument to this is, how many times in the last 15 years of, you know, our wars in the Middle East, do you think those M16s, M4s, functionally identical weapons in terms of their operating systems, save for a couple of bits, were slammed on the butt and dropped that bolt home? I mean, how many times do you think that happened over the course of the last 15 years?
I couldn't even venture to count how many times that's fucking happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, an astronomical amount.
So to me, like that's the argument that you make, but I don't know, man. And like stuff like that. Like I said, he's clever. He did it the right way. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was saying. He intentionally did it without a magazine in the rifle, without a round loaded, because he knew that if he did, he'd be proven wrong. But he did it right. And I got to give props to the guy for thinking that bit through. But unfortunately, you have become about the greatest meme that has ever existed in 2020 for the firearms industry thus far.
I really wonder if he thought that the backlash from knowledgeable people in the 2A community would be as bad as it was.
I don't think he thought that far ahead.
I wonder what the thought process was. He probably was just like, you know what, I gotta get out there and do some sort of flood control on this, and
that's exactly it.
Try to spin it.
Like, the guy's obviously not a shooter. The guy has no idea what he's talking about. So he doesn't know our industry. He doesn't know the fans of the industry. He doesn't know the people who watch gun tubers. He doesn't know what they're like. I mean, look at Grand Thumb's comment section. Look at Brandon's comment section. Hell, look at our comment section from time to time.
Oh shit, yeah, we get roasted.
Like the roasting. Like, one of the supreme skills of this industry is to ironically and sometimes unironically roast roastable things. So he had no idea the can of worms that he was opening, and he essentially his organization lit the fire with the original incident, and then he just poured gasoline all over it and watched that sucker go up. And we were just sitting back there laughing the whole time. But the problem is, he still was clever about it, and the message got out, and very few people, I think, heard the rebuttal. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think out there in the Tundra Nation with people kind of waging those, what I would call a guerrilla campaign against the Second Amendment and our Second Amendment rights? But I mean, this guy, in my opinion, once again, obviously isn't like railing against the Second Amendment. He's railing against, he's damage controlling against somebody being stupid in his organization. But by definition, and by doing that, he is throwing the Second Amendment under the bus, saying, oh, this thing is so scary, it can't be trusted in the hands of people. Well, why the fuck are you letting your people use it? That's all I gotta say.
Hell to the no.
Hell no. To the no.
Nope.
Hell to the no.
Just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Hold on. Oh, Dickie B wants this one.
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
All right, sorry if that blew people's ears out. I didn't realize it was going to be that loud. All right, we got about 10 minutes left in the first hour of the show. Anything else you want to talk about, Hypo? Anything else you got queued up?
No, not really. I was struggling to find something to talk about tonight, and
it's all right. I
decided to go back to the future.
I got the filler for the last 10 minutes. So early on in the show, I alluded to the fact as to the reason why there was not a Tundra Tactical video this week, and that is because my computer decided to take a massive shit all over the floor and pretty much dump everything. The bummer of the situation is I lost a lot of archived Tundra footage, so that is now gone to the wind. Let us say goodbye to the Tundra Tactical archive footage, things like the original What Your Rifle Caliber Says About You video, unfortunately outside of YouTube, no longer exists, and the source footage for it is gone. So we bid you adieu, Tundra Tactical archive footage. Let's get an F in chat. People are already doing it. Thank you very much. And
we'll just pretend like it's some sort of installation art piece and just appreciate the ephemera that it is.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I'll be honest with you guys. That one actually really hurt. You know, the What Your Rifle Caliber Says About You video was kind of the springboard that showed me that this is actually like something that we could do. That was the first video where we got like a major reaction. Like, we had like marquee moments prior to, you know, with certain videos, but nothing like that was our first video that went like boom, like blew up, and we were just sitting there like, holy shit, what's happening? So that one kind of stung a little bit, but to offset that sting, Megan, in her infinite loveliness, attractiveness, and outstanding wifiness, authorized me to spend as much money as I needed to get a new rig up and running to future-proof our system from that ever happening again. And in the early part of the video here, I had mentioned that over the course of this week, we went ahead and did that. So who out there in the Tundra land would like to learn the specs of the new Tundra Tactical productivity editing / gaming combo rig? I'll wait for some responses in the chat, and if we get enough of them, I will go over all of the new parts in their juiciest of details.
Closed circuit to you, Tyler. If you want to try to recover that hard drive, send it to me.
Yeah, actually, I would.
And I will do that.
I would.
Okay, I can get that for you.
Okay, people are definitely wanting to hear it. My dude is saying specs nerd from Neckfire. All right, guys. So the original plan was to replace as little components as humanly possible because in the troubleshooting process, I determined that the processor was still good. I had an old 7700K, I think. Yeah, 7700K. And a GTX 1070. So those two pieces were good. The board was good itself. The RAM was good. There was something in the hard drive and with the audio drivers that caused the computer to catastrophically fail. I have no idea what happened, but I was able to boil it down somehow to audio drivers. So the whole thing shredded itself. Windows corrupted, no longer loadable. I didn't have my Windows key, didn't have the boot disk. Couldn't I tried manually downloading boot media and loading it back up there even without activating Windows. Nothing was working. So I decided to cut ties and just say fuck it, we're building a whole new computer. So the following day we go out and we made the decision to kind of future proof ourselves for the next hopefully quite a few years. And so we went from a 4-core 8-thread 7700K to a i9 I'm so happy to say this finally. An i9 9900K 8-core 16-thread. So I finally have an 8-core processor
nice.
for that sweet video rendering time. Just cutting that down in half. My Cinebench score hypo went up 4 times. I went from 1024 to over 4,500 in the Cinebench benchmark.
What was your render times before?
I have not actually yet tested. I haven't tested a render because I don't have any footage to test it. Well, I do have footage to test it with, but no, like, yeah. So the processor we upgraded, we went from a 7700K to a 9900K. I currently have it overclocked to just under, on all 8 cores, just under 5 gigahertz, and it's stable on 8 cores. It's
nice.
Bananas. Thank you, Tufu, for your help. We're running that XMP2 profile on the RAM as well, so we are getting some massive performance differences. I was earlier playing Arma 3 today, Exile, and Arma 3 is a notoriously CPU intensive game, and I was getting at max 182 frames a second. In the past, I would get like 45.
Man,
it was nuts. So on the next subject, or on the next bit that we really wanted to spend money on to keep the computer kind of in spec for a long time, is we went with a 2080 Super from MSI. So I don't know the exact clock speed on those. I was so excited to get that card in the computer. I just ripped it out of the box, slammed it in the computer, and I wanted to get the benchmarks up and running as quick as humanly possible. The increase in performance on that one wasn't quite as crazy. It's still crazy. It still doubled the performance of my 1070.
I was going to say, you're running a 1070 before, right?
Yep. So it still doubled the performance, and I've got all the RTX support. So when Microsoft Flight Simulator comes out in 2 weeks, and cross your fingers, ladies and gentlemen, Cyberpunk 2077 comes out sometime this year with all that glorious RTX update.
It comes out December at 1160.
Sweet. Let's do it.
When 2020 goes through redo. But we have a second shot. It's going to be like Groundhog's Day.
Oh, God. But so I'll be able to enjoy all of that sweet RTX goodness. I have not yet tried any like RTX demos. I've just been kind of focused on getting everything up and running and everything stable. What else everything is attached to an Asus Maximus 11, I think. Asus Maximus 11 Hero Edition. And the most embarrassing part of this build is my requirement for the motherboard is I wanted more USB 3.0 I/O, because the downside is I have to run with all of the peripherals that I have attached for the microphones, the interfaces, the lighting, the sound. When I run VR and all that stuff, I had to run 2 4x 4-to-1 USB 3.0 dongles. So I had to run I had to run 8 extra USB ports, and they wouldn't always work because a single USB port can't output enough bandwidth for 4 USB 3.0s. So I wanted to get more I/O. So I had, this is the one embarrassing part. I had to spring for the Call of Duty Black Ops 3 edition, which had Black Ops 3 branded all over it. And the most annoying thing about the build at this point, not that I'm really complaining, but the most annoying thing about the build at this point in time is whenever I power up my computer, ROG and the gigantic Call of Duty Black Ops 3 logo in the splash screen. And I don't even play Call of Duty.
Does it have the RGB on board? Around the ramp at the North Bridge and stuff?
I don't honestly know. It does not look like it does. It does not look like it does. The old one did.
Maybe it got the Rogue Strix one, and it had the RGB looking like a fucking disco. Yeah.
My old one was a Z270E Strix, and that did have the RGB. But I have significantly more RGB on the G-Skill RAM that I picked up. I still don't know the clock speed on the RAM because I've been so excited to play with this computer. I haven't even looked at it. Like I said, I literally just ripped all the pieces out, slapped it in the computer, and tried to get it up and running as quickly as humanly possible because I hate downtime. And when there's downtime, there's stress. And when there's stress, I get angry. And when I get angry, I drink more than usual. And when I drink, I do things wrong and then blow up other computers. So we just had to get this thing done as quickly as humanly possible. And long story short, I aced it first try. Hit the power up button, had one postcode. That was it. Turns out the RAM wasn't seated properly, and boop, pushed it in. Solid.
Let's take 1 second for that new RAM as you're pushing it in against the motherboard, and you're putting that pressure, and you're putting more pressure, and then all of a sudden you hear
crack. Yeah.
Crack.
F.
You're like,
Big F.
Did that happen?
Big F. Yep.
Oh no, okay, it's seated. Okay, we're good. There's a moment where like pucker factor is at least 11.
So your background professionally is IT. You're Mr. IT man. Okay, so presumably you know how to build a computer or two. You've maybe done so once or twice in your life.
Once or twice.
Once or twice. So here's my question.
When I build a computer, what I do is I slam it on the table, and then the video card goes right in, and then it fires off.
Boom. Flames shoot out around it. Iron Maiden's playing in the background while you're screaming there in a wife beater doing the Hulk Hogan pose and everything. It's going,
motherfucker, yes.
Oh, goodness gracious, Hypo, sorry.
Yes, I've built PCs in my day.
So one of the areas that I always struggle with is kind of like the order of operations, right? So like anyone, I think like really with given enough time, I think anyone could probably build a PC. It's not, if I can do it
now.
Yeah, if I can do it with the amount of like resources that are out there on YouTube, like step by steps and everything, it's not terribly difficult. But what I always struggle with is like the order of operations. And one of the hardest parts that I ended up getting hung up on is installing the DIMMs, installing the RAM.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the other things that I picked up was the Noctua NDS or NDH15S air cooler, which is about the most massive air cooler I've ever seen. The way it was pitched to me is you're approaching liquid cooling performance with an air cooler, which is according to this guy is speaking the truth, because like I said, I'm pushing 8 cores to just under 5.0 gigahertz and not having any stability problems whatsoever.
String crashes.
Yeah, right. I had a hell of a time getting those DIMMs in with that cooler on. So would you, in that particular scenario, would you wait to install a cooler?
Yeah.
Like until like the last
part? So the way I do it, That's almost the last thing I put on. So I always do. I set up my headers for the wiring after I've got it screwed in. Obviously, set up my headers for the wiring. I then put my RAM in because undoubtedly I'm going to wind up with a cooler issue where it's going to be in the way or there's going to be cabling. So I use that as kind of a routing tool to know exactly what's going to be where, because SATA cables are a bitch.
Yes, they are.
If you have to like route out and across and down and over and around, you need to know where your RAM's going to go. Otherwise, you're going to be moving shit and unplugging shit and going back in and taking your cooler out. So I almost always put my RAM in first.
This one, if he's watching, this one's for Volk out there tonight. Sorry, that's so loud. That is interesting, yeah, because I definitely did not do that. So I was like fighting the cooler the whole way on those first 2 DIMM slots. And then, of course, for 2 and 4, it was easy as pie. But currently sitting at 32 gigs of G.Skill RGB, which adds, 10 horsepower.
Yeah, you gotta do that plus stickers.
So let's see, what else did we get? So we got the Maximus board, the 2080 Super.
Thermal compound. What are you using?
It was the stuff that came with Noctua. From everything that I heard, Noctua's thermal compound's pretty good. So I just went with the stuff right out of the box from Noctua. That Noctua dude,
such a Rain Man on it. Like with thermal compound application, people just leave the room when I start doing that shit because I've got the razor blades out and there's levels of precision and shit.
Tundra Nation tech tips. Maybe that'll be the 3rd channel we
guys.
start. Here's the question. Okay, so I'm a huge Linus Tech Tips fan. One of my favorite, like, he gets flack for it all the time from the uninitiated, right? But how close do you guys think that I could get to once we do end up getting sponsors? How close do you guys think that I could get to his like level of cheesy sponsor segue? I bet you I could do it. I bet you I could do it pretty damn good. Mark Spivey wants to know the.
I'm just thinking about like the reference you made to adding horsepower, and I'm thinking about like the Subaru WRXs with like 70 fucking sponsor stickers on the rear window. That's the level of cheesiness you're gonna get with sponsorship.
You know it. It's more not necessarily cheesiness with sponsorship, but it's more his transition into the sponsor spot, which is just like he's mastered it. Let's see. Spivey wants to know the other piece that I did buy, the SSD. So we went with a 1 terabyte 970 Evo Plus NVMe, M.2 NVMe as
VMEs are badass.
Yep, as the boot drive. I have another 256 gig NVMe 970 Pro, and then I have 1, 2, 3 Samsung of the was it the 870s SSDs?
870 Evo.
870 Evo 2.5 inch SSDs. Those are 256 gig a piece. I have one 500 gig Kingston SSD. I have one 3 terabyte Seagate or Western Digital. I don't know. Seagate or Western Digital. Hold on. Right here. It's actually Toshiba as my kind of
good
like long-term storage drive. And then I have 2.
I hate Seagate.
Yeah, I have 2. I used to work for them, interestingly enough. Used to work for security for them at their Bloomington fabrication plant here in Minnesota. And then I have 2 terabyte Seagate drives that, interestingly enough, one has failed. So
every time a Barracuda drive fails for me, I'm going to blame you from this point forward.
Fair enough. I mean, I was in the clean rooms.
I'm absolutely going to blame you now. I'd be like, this is probably a beard hair.
Mm-hmm. Look at that face.
That's what causes it to fuck up.
Sabotage. I was paid by a competitor. So yeah, that's the setup right now. We're running out to dual monitors. I did just get a new monitor stand as well, so I finally got my monitors up off the desk to reclaim some glorious space for the Go XLR. If you guys can see that sweet piece of equipment, look at all that RGB on the desk. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful when I hit this.
Pretty.
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, hell to the no. to the no, no,
Nope.
no.
Nope.
Hell
Nope.
no,
Nope.
no. To the no, no. Hell to the no, no.
All right, this is getting ridiculous. Yes, Tufu, I am wearing pants. Look at that. Unlike you the other night, Tufu did show up in the Discord without pants on, and it was supreme. Yes, Bishop Bullwinkle is there. Bishop Bullwinkle is recognized by the Tundra Nation. I've totally forgotten what's on this button.
Know your fucking place, trash.
What's on this button?
Bruh.
Oh, there we go. Okay. And then, of course, we have the Tufu.
Hello, I need to speak to somebody who can speak a Chinese.
Oh, gosh. I love this thing so much. It's so much fun. So that is the
Welcome
other...
to the first hour I spent with Tyler.
Yeah, right. The best, you mean. The best. You have laughed more this hour than you have laughed in the entire history of the Tundra Nation thus far. Especially in the pre-show.
Yes, except for when you injure yourself in your eyes with whiskey.
Yes, that happens often here. Oh shit. Oh my god, I have totally forgotten. Carnage and Carnage Cares Inc. is gonna kill me. Let's although that's being shown here, give me a second here. We need to cover our sponsor for this week as I pull it up and get it ready. Let's see. Carnage. There we are. All right. So our sponsor this week. Are you ready for this one, Hypo? Because it's a follow-up to last week's sponsor. Fortunately, Carnage Cares Incorporated came through big for us yet again, third week in a row, interestingly enough. So thank you, Carnage Cares. We very much appreciate this. And they want to introduce us to...
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Tundra Tactical presents
Hypo's Hypnotic Beard Oil. Congratulations, you have a beard. And assuming you aren't an idiot, you've been using Tyler's Tactical Beard Cream to fashion it into a mane worthy of song and legend. But how are you going to protect it? Other lesser men are sure to be jealous of its underwear moistening prowess and seek to harm it. Or maybe you were too busy staring at that hot number walking past your house that your shears trimmed something other than those hedges you were supposed to be working on. Here at Carnage Cares Incorporated, we understand your dilemma. Our lab monkeys work day and night to create the solution to your problems. Hypo's Hypnotic Beard Oil even. Simply add Hypo's Hypnotic Beard Oil and marvel as razors, shears, scissors, and other assorted pointy objects simply refuse to cut it. It's even been proven resistant to the effects of dragon's breath rounds, and the glossy sheen left by the oil will be sure to please your significant other. So please order Hypo's Hypnotic Beard Oil today. Note, we are legally required to urge you not to test your beard oil with dragon's breath rounds while using Hypo's Hypnotic Beard Oil. If you are actually brain dead enough to do so, Carnage Cares and Tundra Tactical are not liable or injuries that will ensue. Warning, please use responsibly. This product can cause ungodly amounts of badassery, extreme thirstiness, inability to wear pants, inability for others to wear pants, spontaneous proximity pregnancies, desire for nicotine, tinnitus, actual Vietnam flashbacks, may cause cancer in the state of California, guaranteed to cause cancer everywhere else, space AIDS, maybe eventual certain death, and the possibility for complete hair loss. Make sure you keep watching later in the show, where 3 very special words will flash on the screen behind Hypo. The first person to call into our dedicated hotline that doesn't exist will receive a free case of Tyler's Tactical Beard Cream and a genuine McCloskey's t-shirt. Carnage, you're a fucking champion, dude. Oh man, you know what? I was able to make it through the first 2 without breaking. I got through the first 2 without breaking, but that disclaimer, man, is just too good. Actual Vietnam flashbacks, random proximity.
It's like he's got a window into my life.
Oh, Carnage, you are just a champion, buddy. Oh man. Guys, so for the last 3, if you haven't figured it out, this is a bit. Carnage Cares doesn't actually exist, but yet. But how would you guys like to see more Carnage Cares sponsors coming onto the show to help bolster the popularity and support of the channel? Because, oh yeah, look at that. Goodness gracious. It broke me. How would you guys in the Tundra Nation like to see Carnage write up a few more advertisements and see how difficult it is for me to get through them without cracking up? Because I personally like the challenge, and unfortunately, or fortunately and unfortunately, Carnage, you got the best of me that one this week. So here's to you, buddy. You done good, kid. J-Box saying yes. Alpha Zombie Elite is saying yes. Empty-Headed Gamer is saying do it. So I think we have 3 votes out of like the 10 people that are still left here. So Rectex saying that was so lovely. That was so, do I have an effect? Do I have something? Hold on. Oh damn. That was so lovely.
Would you say that was lovely?
No, I said it was you're my bitch.
What? Okay.
I just got pregnant.
Yeah. Hey, Hypo's hypnotic beard oil, apparently. Just be careful when you use it. Like I said, those disclaimers are real, folks. Tufu's typhoid fever reliever. Carnage, write that one down.
Hello, I need to speak to somebody who can speak a Chinese.
Did Megan just laugh in the background?
No, she's talking to somebody
Okay.
else,
That was very well timed. It was very well timed.
Oh man, I'm gonna play this back for her, and she's probably gonna shit her pants.
Oh,
so.
Dude. Carnage, I think you nailed it. Credit where credit is due. This was 100% Carnage's idea. Carnage 1138 in chat is the one responsible for writing these up. And we kind of just sit down while we're playing video games one day and just kind of like, I just feed him the ideas for certain things, and Ranger feeds him an idea for another thing. Hypo tosses a thing in there like he normally does. Oh yeah. And everything kind of gets combined together by the wonderful, the great, the very talented, obviously, Carnage himself, for me to be read on camera. And I try not to read him too much so I don't get desensitized to him, so I can get kind of the full reaction for you guys. And man, it's fun. Now, I will say this before we dive into, can you get Ask Tundra Nation ready for me while I'm setting this up?
Yeah, they should be in your DMs.
Excellent, thank you. One of the things that we're planning on doing, we haven't found a way to implement it quite yet, and it's going to take a fair amount of setup time. But one of the things that we're looking at doing is actually taking these Carnage Cares advertisements and creating video spots for them. So like little simple, like advertisements of like Hypo in the bathroom, like putting Hypo's hypnotic beard oil into his beard, and like I don't know how we're gonna film random proximity pregnancies, but
oh, I've got an idea.
Okay. But just taking that as taking the text of the ad spot itself and making it into a skit essentially, and we might do like 1 or 2 at a time. And instead of reading them live on the air, in the future, what I hope to be able to do is have a video file ready to be played for you guys, so you guys can see the 100% full unbridled craziness that is Tundra Tactical's attempt to make a sponsor spot. Chris, if you're listening, we can be professional as well. Hopefully you're not. Oh dear. Just lost my Leviathan contract.
Done. All right, you get started on that. I have to pee like a 12-year-old for some reason.
All right. Let's get the Delta mics pulled up here and get Ask Tundra Nation ready to rock and or roll. All right, this is the Tundra stream you've all been waiting for, where everything gets all kinds of fuckered up because I was not prepared. For whatever reason, the background is gray this week. Okay, so let me see. Do I got something for this? Hold on. Hello. All right. Ask Tundra Nation, the segment of the show where you guys, the fans, Get to have your questions answered live on air with me. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to participate in Ask Tundra Nation, make sure to follow the link in the description below to our Discord server and or in the little aside there, and become part of the Tundra Nation today. It's the only way you can do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to dive right into Ask Tundra Nation, and the first one comes from... make sure I got the chat pulled up here so I can see if I'm fucking anything up. Stand by one. Exile is failing miserably. Oh, wonderful. Trauma wants to know, hot dogs or hamburgers? Oh man, that is a tough one, because I'll tell you this right now, I am a fan of both. That is a very difficult thing to make a decision on. Let me ask the Tundra Nation, is there anybody out there who is firmly in the category of hot dog or hamburger? Like, you love one and you hate the other. Sound off in the comment section so that I can see from you. I will say that it's a 50-50 split between hot dogs and hamburgers, because let's be honest, on we'll call it a July summer day or an August summer day, right? You get out on the grill in the backyard, you fire up that charcoal, you fire up the gas grill if you got that. You toss the dogs on there, and man, if you do them just right, just that burnt crisp edge, dog splits open. There's something that's just raw Americana about that. There's just something raw.
Do you say you like
Americana.
raw dogs?
I love raw dogs, especially yours, man. Got to have a couple of those in Vegas, I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, you're not always in the mood for that hypo raw dog, right? Right?
No,
you know, sometimes he just grills you a little too rough, and you want that sweet. It was accurate. It was accurate.
I feel
right?
like there's going to be like a lead up to a sound effect, and then when it doesn't happen, I'm even more caught off guard. For God's sake.
That's all I can give you. So, you know, when hypo doesn't feel like raw dogging you, right? You want the burger. You want the burger. I told you, it breaks him every time. Has anyone ever seen hypo laugh like this live on the air? He went off camera.
Okay. Composed. We're good. All right. Carry on with your burgers and your raw dogs.
Shut the fuck up. Know your fucking place, trash.
You didn't hear that, but the rest of the stream did. So where I'm going with this is, it's an easy 50-50 split between dogs and burgers, because they are both the epitome of summertime Americana. And damn it, if everybody in this chat didn't just grow up with them, you know, dad cooking out on the grill, mom cooking out on the grill, uncles, aunts, going to the big family reunion, having piles, like fucking piles of dogs and burgers out there. Interestingly enough, interesting fact about me with hot dogs, not a big fan of hot dogs on buns. I like hot dogs. Yeah, I like well, okay, as a kid I should say. As an adult, I've discovered other condiments other than not sour cream, excuse me. Sour cream on a hot dog would be probably disgusting. But I've discovered other condiments other than ketchup and mustard. So as a kid, it was the cut up hot dogs. By the way, let's acknowledge the awesomeness of mac and cheese and hot dogs.
Yes.
Let us acknowledge
absolutely.
the awesomeness of mac and cheese and hot dogs. But back to what I was saying, as a kid, it would just be the chopped up hot dogs with a little dollop of ketchup, little dollop of mustard on there, and call her good. You do the little dipperoonie. Good summer day right there. Burgers, always on a bun. Always on a bun. You never have a burger off a bun. It's not a burger then. But as I grew up, right, and I started to expand my sausage-loving taste, yes, you can quote me on that. What's that? I was getting there. As I was to expand my sausage-loving taste, and yes, you can quote me on that, I discovered things like onions and sauerkraut and ketchup and mustard, and the combination of all of that stuff. I'm not a relish guy, but onions, sauerkraut, ketchup, and mustard, just layer that shit all on a dog. Big old Hypo's hot dog, right? That could be another sponsor right there.
Hypo's hot dogs.
Hypo's hard grilling hot dogs.
Jesus Christ.
Hard. That's an old Black Diamond Guns and Gear throwback right there, I think. You put that all together, man. There's arguably nothing better. The only thing that gets better is a good cheddar brat with the same condiments.
Oh yes, yeah, that's what we do in our house.
A cheddar brat that when you bite into it, like literally, I don't think that there has been in the history of cheddar brat first bites, I don't think that there has been an incident that didn't happen where that first bite just shot cheddar, hot cheddar into your eye every time, right?
Mostly every time.
Okay. Way to back me up on that one, Hypo.
Actually, never.
Appreciate the support.
Actually, never. I've never actually taken a hot load of cheddar to the face.
I always take Hypo's hot load of cheddar to the face. Okay, it's getting weird. Moving on. Moving on. Moose wants to know, so I have the problem of being right-handed, but my right eye is my bad eye. This causes me problems when shooting pistols that I hold with my dominant hand, but aim with my left eye. I've discovered, quiet, Hypo. I've discovered that I'm
still on that.
I've discovered that I'm incredibly inaccurate like that. What suggestions do you have for shooting handguns to improve that issue? And are there any specific handguns that might be better for concealed carry that would make it easier for self-defense despite my issue? So what he's essentially saying is he struggles from cross-eye dominance, which is something that a significantly, going from like a stupid topic right to a serious shooting topic. This is something that a lot more people than you think really suffer from. Having worked at a gun range for a significant portion of my civilian even adult life, I have seen, I would probably put it into the tune of like 15 to 25%, maybe 15 to 20%, like 1 out of 5 people that I saw on the range.
I think that's accurate. Yeah,
struggled from cross-eye dominance. So Moose, you're really not alone. There's a lot of people asking this question. In fact, this question has been asked and answered on the stream prior a couple of times, probably like 2 or 3 times, but it's also not a question. It's also a question that I don't mind answering again. Hypo, feel free to chime in on your perspective. But in terms of your first kind of end question there, so he says, what suggestions do you have for shooting handguns to improve that issue? You're not going to like it, dude, because it requires more work than your right-handed right-eye dominant shooter, but it's just practice. It really is just practice. What you have to do is, so I'm right, I'm right eye. I had to close my eye for a second. I'm right eye, right hand dominant. If you're left eye dominant, you go from shooting like this to shooting like this. So it's a simple head movement. And with pistols, it's actually a relatively easy thing to overcome. Where the big challenge comes from is when you're going to rifles, because rifles, you can't do the whole thing. You essentially have to learn how to shoot right-handed. Excuse me. Or you have to find a compromise, which I wouldn't necessarily recommend. So it's a lot of work and it's a lot of practice getting used to that whole, as you draw, you press out and you get that kind of head tuck, lean over, or just even better, the big thing that's being taught these days, instead of doing the head tuck or the head movement, you're bringing the gun to the eye as opposed to bringing your eye to the gun. So that's the big thing being taught these days, is just bring the gun to the eye as opposed to the eye to the gun. So practice. That is going to be the fastest and easiest, most reliable and most effective way to not cure, but cope with the cross-eye dominance. I shouldn't say cope, just operate with, like,
just learn to deal with it. Yeah. In terms of the second question, he says, and are there any specific handguns that might be better for concealed carry that would make it easier for self-defense despite my issue? So first of all, I wouldn't say despite your issue. I really wouldn't, because it's only an issue if people don't take the time to train it. It's just like my it's not a handicap, it's handicapable.
Oh, it's not even that. I would say that every shortcoming, every shooter shortcoming is a quote unquote issue, right? And the only way you get over that issue is to shoot,
training,
is to practice. So my ability, to shoot a handgun accurately is an issue, right? I'm pulling low and to the left all the damn time. Or if I'm a lefty, low and to the right. That's an issue as well.
Richard Olson's got this, though. He says just put on some left eye sights. Done.
Fucking Richard. Shut up, Richard.
I wonder if the homeboy sights would work.
Yeah, right.
Well for that.
The vertical ones, clack, clack.
Yeah. You just line it up over here.
So, like in regards to that, it's overcoming that training. It's the same thing as like the low right, low left pull from trigger manipulation or any other handgun or rifle related proficiency or deficiency. The only thing that gets you from amateur to competent to professional is practice. Nothing can't be overcome without practice. Now, there is a tool, I think, in my opinion, not necessarily a gun, because most guns, at least in their base configuration for their sight alignment, sight picture, their functionality, and their form, to that extent, the way they interface with your eye. Now, obviously, certain people like certain sight profiles or certain dot profiles or the U shapes or what have you. But most guns live kind of in such a similar category that it doesn't matter if you're shooting a Beretta 92 or a Glock 19. It's just line those 3 dots or posts up, right? CZ P10C or P10F or PO7 or 75 or what have you. Pick a gun, pick a handgun. You line those 3 posts up and you shoot. If you can do that consistently with practice, chances are you're going to be relatively proficient. The one thing that I do think does help with cross-eye dominance is red dots.
Yeah, absolutely.
There is a big kind of split in the carry community about should you have a red dot on your gun or should you not have a red dot on your gun. And there are various pros and cons that are valid on both sides. But when speaking specifically from a cross-eye dominance issue, I would say that it helps you more than it hurts you, in the sense that it gives you a single point of aim for hopefully a singular point of impact. And it just takes one of those variables outside, or it takes one of the variables off the table, where you don't have a rear sight or a front sight to align. You just have that dot on the target. And regardless of what eye it has to come up to, that's all it is. It's a dot on a target. And as that essentially makes the training easier, it potentially could give you more repetitions per training session because you're taking less time to find that sight or do whatever. And yeah, that would be my suggestion. I don't think that there's a best gun for cross-eye dominance people out there. Would you?
No. No, I would say
go ahead,
if you do have the situation like my brother Ben, who just popped up in chat, and you answered his question about this
the better looking
on Ask Tundra Nation video, the best looking Willett, TBH. I think if you have that situation and you're left-handed and you have to shoot a rifle opposite side, look for something that's going to be ambi in terms of ejection pattern, if you can, because it's absolutely hilarious watching him shoot my AK and watching that fucking bolt flying right in front of his eyeball.
Well, okay,
as shells come pinging towards him.
Let's talk about something else related to this subject. For this is a little bit more like newer shooter basis, or like bias. Let's say I'm a cross-eye dominant shooter. I know that I'm cross-eye dominant and I want to get into rifles now. I've learned how to shoot my handgun proficiently. And I want to get into rifles now. You see a lot of aversion to rifles from cross-eye dominant shooters because either A, they don't want to learn how to shoot lefty, or B, they're afraid of that shell hitting them in the face. And on certain platforms like AKs or other rifles, repeating rifles, that absolutely can happen. That's one of the AR-15's kind of like marquee selling points is that brass deflector, and that blast deflector. That thing works really, really good. So the only time you really have to worry about shooting an AR-15 when you're either cross-eye dominant, shooting a righty gun, or left-handed completely and left-eye dominant shooting a righty gun is when you suppress it. That's when you get the major gas into the face. So don't be afraid of it. Just roll with it, do it, and suck it up, Skippy.
Yep,
that's what I got.
In the face is part of it.
Oh yeah, just like those hypos, raw dogs, hot dogs.
Fuck. Christ.
Every time. How many more times, chat? Let's get an over under. Let's get an over under. How many more times can I get hypo before the show's over? Get an over under here. Let's take some bets. I don't think that's legal to do on YouTube, but
oh man, that was perfectly timed too.
Yep. Adventure Capitalist comes in next with the Keltec KSG. Oh, this is starting off strong for memes. The Keltec KSG is $700, and all the examples that I've owned have worked flawlessly. So he's admitted to owning more than one KSG. If you don't baby them and use them, he says, and all of the examples that I've owned work flawlessly if you don't baby them. And the UTS 15 is $1,000. Meanwhile, the IWI TS 12 that just came out is $1,400. Do you really think that having a semi-auto action and an improvement on a rotating multi-tube over the dual tube design of the KSG and the UTS 15 is worth literally twice as much? At that same price bracket, the TS 12 is also inhabited. No, it's inhabited by the great boomsticks like the Browning Auto 5, the A5 Competition, the Benelli Super Black Eagle 1, 2, and 3, the Benelli M2, M3, M4. Do you think the TS12, so he's essentially saying, do you think the TS12 is competing in that segment, or is it just there to justify its cost for investors? So first of all,
let me first of all, fuck you. $700 was not the price tag on my KSG. It was $1,200. Now you can continue. I paid way too much for mine.
So first of all, closed circuit to hypo and closed circuit to cap, there is literally zero reason in the entire world to own a KSG or a UTS 15.
Let me go back on this one real quick. So there's a bit of a story. I went to my local gun store with the intention of getting a UTAS X12, semi-auto 12-gauge shotgun. They didn't have it in stock. I asked them if they could order it. They said yes, but we can't get it in FDE. And I said, well, shit. Okay. He goes, well, I want you to pay for it now. And I said, I need my instant gratification. So I left there, immediately went right down to Big Five Sporting Goods because I was sad and wanted to see what they had in there. And they had the KSG, and I impulse bought that fucker.
Bruh.
So like you guys know my stance in Keltec guns. And my stance on anything that is let's just be honest. The Keltec KSG, the UTAS 15, and every other clone or imitator, it is a meme gun. It is a meme gun. It is a cool factor gun. I'll give you that. It's the I'll tell you this straight up. It's the Call of Duty fanboy gun.
Well, yeah, it's also the John Wick fanboy gun.
Fair enough, but it's still a fanboy gun, right? It's the same.
But I didn't get it for that reason.
It's the same as ripping a tricked out Glock 34 as an EDC. Okay?
Yeah,
you're a try hard. Don't be a try hard. Be a normal person. And Cap, I love you. Okay, but that oh boy.
Should I send the spikes for the screws back then?
Yes, probably. So his ultimate question is, do you think that the TS12, the IWI TS, the TS12 is competing in that segment, or is it just there to justify cost for investors? Well, so IWI is kind of known in their world as a premium brand. So regardless of the quality of the firearm, it's going to come at a premium cost. And there are going to be people out there who, because it's an Israeli weapon industry's firearm, are just gonna fawn over the gun. They're gonna love it, and they know that they're gonna sell enough of them to justify the cost. So I would say it kind of lives in that middle bracket. I would actually kind of argue it as a test bed for something more practical later on down the line in terms of shotguns from IWI. So they're wondering, okay, how far can we got the Tavor, okay, we've had the Galil in the past, we've had the Jericho, which for whatever reason is just surging now. The Jericho brand.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. It's just out everywhere.
Yeah, like everyone's talking, or at least everyone was talking. They haven't been talking about it recently, but a month ago, everybody was talking about the new IWI Jericho, which I have not shot yet. So IWI has that kind of we'll call them almost like a, would I be correct in saying almost like a boutique brand? Like they have that like exotic name, Israeli Weapon Industries, you know?
Oh well, yeah. I mean, well, so one. I mean, they have their IMI line of those things, right?
Mhm.
So they're very specific to that region. They've been doing their stuff for years before we get them.
Yeah.
So we get to watch this from afar. You know, the X what is it?
X95.
X52.
Or, the 52.
X95.
Okay, yeah.
95, you're right. I mean, that thing was in service for about 10 years or so before it was released over here, and everybody was just thinking it's hot shit until we get our hands on it.
Well, and that's
and
the whole thing.
People just buy the shit out of it.
Yeah, it's oh my god, I can't have this. I want this. I want this. I want this. You know, so I think it's something new. It's something crazy. It's coming from that exotic company. So yes, I think that it's more really like between those two options, it's more of a justification of cost for investors. But I really do think that it's more of an extreme push, like how far can we push the shotgun idea to see kind of where that limit is, so that when they dial it back and release something that competes against the 870, the 1187s, or the 1100 series, or the 590 series, when they release a gas operated shotgun, single tube, bone standard, something either mil spec or very close to, a defensive style shotgun, which I think is going to be their next shotgun, that it will be more marketable. They'll say, okay, look at the success of the UTAS, or not the UTAS, but the TS12 in its competition bracket. Look at the success of the X95 or the Tavor in its competition bracket, because you could argue that some of the most recognizable, if not the most recognizable bullpup on the market today is going to be due to video games, due to movies and things like that. It's just one of the coolest looking is the X95 series, or the Tavor series. So IWI has that cool factor thing locked in, and the TS12 definitely follows that.
And IWI tends to kind of pattern their stuff over high end, good quality stuff, like Jericho, which is a pattern of the CZ75, or the KSG with their new.
Can you repeat that? I'm
Don't
sorry,
die.
I didn't hear you. You quite. Ooh, all right.
Yeah. No, they tend to do stuff, really well done copies of items, and I'm not sure what that's due to, but they tend to do really good copies of things.
I mean, like,
so
I don't, not always. I mean, well, I guess the Galil is technically kind of like a copy of the AK, but just better.
Better. Yeah.
Some people might hang me out to dry for saying that, but
I think the Tavor is pretty unique. I think that's set
definitely
the standard for that type of bullpup rifle. And there's a few others like Desert Tech and all those other guys that started coming out with those. But
well, they all came after the X. I mean, like you said, the X95 was a decade in advance of like the MDRs and all that stuff. So Desert Tech was known for their bullpup bolties, first, and then they came up with their their gas gun. So all right, let's go on to the next question, shall we? All right, Noobcrastinator. Noob wants to know, being a noob, getting set up for the first time, and watching the gun store video, oh god, I'm sorry, where do you draw the line between supporting local business and buying online? This is a great question. Obviously, budget plays into a role, but at what point is it just unacceptable? So this is a great point, and there's kind of two ways of playing this, and it's honestly, it's almost like a unique perspective given the times that we're going through right now. Stand by one. So given the times that we're going through right now, it's pricey everywhere you go. I've been trying to buy 9mm at under 30 cents a round for 3 weeks now, and I've seen it. It's definitely popping up. Like if you hunt ammo seek, once again, Trauma and Cypher, thank you guys for hunting that stuff down for me. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to pick any of it up, but I do appreciate the DMs. If you run on AmmoSeek or another similar piece of software or another app where it's constantly scanning for ammo for you, you do have the opportunity, and you will see stuff pop up for a very short period of time for under 30 cents a round. 24 to 28 cents a round is kind of the average that I'm targeting right now. Obviously, in the past, we're looking at target 9mm in an ideal situation being about 17 cents a round. and like 5.56 being about 33 cents a round. Now we're seeing, 25 to 28 on the low end for 9 mil and 30 to 45 cents on the high end, and then a wide range, 45 to 50 cents a round for 5.56, all the way up to, I've seen target ammo going for $1 a round.
What did you think about that link I sent you to the SIG stuff from PSA?
Oh, dude,
at
that's
218 a
nuts.
fucking round.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. Now I understand it's hollow point and everything like that, but
it's
not
I used to pay
anything
I think
special.
$18 for a box of that.
Yeah, it's not anything special.
Crazy.
We're not talking like I would be almost okay, like not terribly okay, but I'd be almost okay paying like $2 a round in these times for Hydra shocks. But not for like the generic.
You don't need a whole bunch.
Yeah, not for like the generic SIG self-defense rounds that are just coming off their factory line with no like special implementation, testing, or procedure to them. So, like, where do you draw that line? Personal preference, man. The big thing for me is, and Hypo, you'll be able to echo this with your boys over the border in Arizona, is store loyalty.
Yeah.
I am absolutely willing to pay a 50% premium. I am absolutely willing to pay a 50% premium to support a store that I believe in. There's a line that I draw, and that's probably right around that 50% markup, right? Where after that, post that, regardless of how much I like somebody, I'm just gonna say, hey guys, it's nothing personal, it's business. Like I'm here, this is, at this point in time, this is my full-time job. Sadly enough, yes, this is what I am reduced to. Relying on the beard and beards and the bald heads to make money, right, Hypo?
Poor guy.
It's almost like we're working the strip in Vegas again. I mean, it's almost like we're working the strip in Vegas for the first time.
Acceptable.
Yeah. So there is definitely a line to be drawn in the sand, but the big thing that pushes me to advocate supporting local business over buying online is the fact that I know and am connected to a ton of local businesses here in the Twin Cities that are struggling. I'm watching my friends hurt, and it sucks. It fucking sucks. Like, when I'm sure that a good majority of you guys out there in the Tundra Nation right now, during this time, during the COVID times, right, have watched a friend or a family member that owns a business, is invested in a business, in some way, shape, or form, struggle because of this, and you want to help them out. So maybe you're willing, at least at this point in time, to take a little bit of an extra hit, spend a little bit more money. Maybe you had a good week at work. Maybe maybe you hit that scratch off or something. Who knows? And you're willing to support that local business just to help your buddy or your friend out. And that's what I'm really like, that part of that video that he's talking about, where I was giving shit to the person that was buying from Cheaper Than Dirt. Those businesses, man, they're not dying. They're not gonna die. They're gonna be the first people to get ammo because they're the major market guys. They're the big box store online retailers. The PSAs of the world, the Cheaper Than Dirts of the world. They're not, well, Cheaper Than Dirt, I'm gonna say they're bad people. Like, they are absolutely unethical and terrible business practice people, and they should burn in the fire of hell, for all I'm concerned. But like other companies like PSA or an Optics Planet or whomever, they're just large volume retailers, so they're gonna survive because they can order 25 pallets of ammo at a time. And so they're obviously going to get it before the little guys who can order, 10 cases at a time. My buddy's store, ROE Defense, that we did that video at, he paid 48 cents a round from the dealer.
Jeez.
So he's got to sell it at 52 cents a round to even make it worth his while. And that sucks, man.
That's fucking nuts.
And no, before you ask, I'm not willing to pay, even from Zach, like, he's my boy, but I'm not willing to pay 52 cents a round. That's kind of where I draw that line. I say, hey man, I'll help you out in some other way. I'll put some pub out for you. I'll do a video with you. But man, that is a lot for ammo. And I understand that's not his fault. Like, that's the other thing, is a lot of people are saying, oh, you're price gouging. You, Mr. Business Owner, you're price gouging. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're trying to sell it at a profit, which is what you're supposed to do as a business. So don't, you know, when you see these ungodly, unreasonable prices, understand that chances are, sure, there can be some unethical businesses out there, but chances are those prices that are set from the distributors, from the manufacturers, because of the times. Because it costs federal twice as much, 4 times as much, 3 times as much to put around a 9mm ammunition through the turns and out to the retailers. So it's just the nature of the business right now. It will die down. It will subside. Unfortunately, some of the predictions that I've heard, and I have no validity, or I've no, you know, like basis of accuracy in this statement, but some of the people that I'm hearing are talking about a 2-year return to normal period at this point.
Sure. Well, you think about the 22 ammo situation that happened a couple years back, where you're paying, you know, $50 to $100 for a box of
Yes, Ranger, we are gaming after this. Continue on.
That died down. This too. Wait, I got this.
Hold on.
This too will pass.
This too shall pass. Oh, I didn't do it. Damn it. Hold on.
This too shall pass.
Oh my God, Balrog.
Yep.
You shall not pass.
Bitch, yes I will.
And he showed Gandalf too, until he came back and killed everything. But
Until he came back and ripped.
So ultimately the question is, where do I draw that line? There's no tangible number, because my want and desire to support the people that I care about, and you know, make no mistake, guys like Zach that run ROE Defense, my boys over at Stock and Barrel, you know, even the guys over the gun stop. Like, I don't shop at the gun stop here in Minnesota all that much, but they're a small business and they're trying to make ends meet. And to an extent, I'm not going to say like I'm as talented business wise as these guys are, but because they've been doing it for years, but to an extent I can understand that struggle. Believe it or not, there's actually a fair amount of time and effort that goes into making this shit show. And I can only imagine what these guys are going through right now. You know, like being actual, you know, we're hacks. We're scam artists, essentially. you guys give us money to be idiots, which I love. I love the fact that is what we get to do. I love the fact that that's what we get to do. But we're not professionals. We're hacks. We're absolute hacks. These guys out there that are putting in the grind every day, running a brick and mortar business in the time of online transactions and e-commerce and everything. These guys are putting in the grind and trying to keep the firearm industry close to you. So give them the benefit of the doubt. Toss a couple extra bucks their way. And when, you know, if and when you find that place, not everyone's going to have this because not everyone's blessed enough to have that great gun shop near them. But if and when you find that place, support them. Pay that extra money. Pay that extra money out of loyalty, just like you would, you know, if Glock hiked their price 15% and you were a huge Glock fanboy, you'd pay that money. Okay? If your favorite gun shop hikes their prices up 25% to deal with the cost, 20, 30%, you know, to deal with the cost, do it. 100%, maybe consider going somewhere else. Who knows? But consider the times that we're in. You know, if it's normal times and everywhere else is 17 cents a round and your favorite gun shop's charging 34 cents a round, there's some problems there. Maybe they're not who you thought they were. Yeah. But right now...
Yeah, I think I go by the formula of if a gun shop is good during the good times to you, if they're there to support you during those times, you should probably go out of your way a little bit to support them and help them keep going.
Those dudes are showing up to work and grinding their ass off to get that next Glock 19 that's impossible to find in stock. I watch people do it. My boss, Michael Mihailov, I'll give him credit every day of the week, man. Mike, if you ever end up watching this show, you were one of the best bosses I ever worked for, because you were on the phone. You said, fuck Cabela's buyers. I'm going to the source. I'm calling Glock. Like, this is a firearms general manager, not even the store manager, but this is the general manager of just a random Minnesota Cabela's using his connections to call Glock to say, hey, why aren't you sending us guns?
Gaston, where are you? I've got a hammer.
Yeah. And wouldn't you know it, a week later, we get 20 Glock 19s in. These are the types of people that are going to those lengths. That you guys don't see this. It's behind the scenes. You guys don't see this. But you guys don't see guys like Michael Mihailov grinding their ass out, working a 14-hour day on the phone, trying to get those next batch of 19s in, or that next batch of CZ75s or P10Cs in for you. Now, unfortunately, it's either get them quick or get them cheap. At this point in time, you can't have both. So you got to pick one, and you have to either respect the fact that somebody's going to bat for you to try to keep those guns in stock, or you have to respect the fact that, hey, they're not in stock because they're unavailable, and we're trying to keep everything relatively manageable in terms of cost. Is that you editing the document there?
Yeah, I just moved some stuff up because time sensitive was not relevant.
Okay. You know, I am too drunk to answer this question. I know the reference, but Karina wants to know, what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? Hypo, I'm dropping this to you because I'm too drunk to.
Monty Python.
Of course.
It was Tim the Wizard.
Mm-hmm.
Tim the Enchanter.
Yes, I don't know the answer to it though. I can't remember the answer to it.
I don't know. What's your favorite color? I don't know the answer to that one either.
Yeah. We'll let the chat answer that. African or European? That's the correct answer. Yes, African or European.
Oh yeah, African or European. That's right.
Brother Panda says not the Enchanter.
I thought it was.
You can call me Tim.
Tim,
Yeah.
The Enchanter.
Well, yeah. Hypo Googles it. I'll go into the next question. Karina, thanks for the question. Unfortunately, I'm too drunk to recall my Monty Pythonry outside of the generic references. But the next question comes from Z Winner, and Z Winner wants to know: is night vision a worthwhile investment, or would that money be better spent on ammunition? As much as it pains me to say this, because I'm starting to really get into night vision because I have the helmet. I absolutely think night vision is a luxury. It is not a necessity in any way, shape, or form to your average shooter. To the hardcore people that are like willing to put in the time and train, have the facilities to train at night and make things, you know, functional on that regard. It is absolutely worth the investment because you're going to get that money out of it. Or let's just say you're a hobbyist, right? And you're just doing night walks. You know, you got the land to do it in. You live out in the country, or you have access to, you know, some big nighttime fields or some big nighttime paths that you can walk through. Then yeah, 100%. If it's just for the fun factor, go nuts. If you're getting the money out of it as to what you're putting into it, it's 100% worth the investment. If you're the average shooter and you're saying, night vision or ammo, well, 100%, I'm going to say ammo every single time.
You can probably buy a box of ammo for the price of NVGs right now.
Maybe even two. Yeah, well, I mean, it depends on if you're going with like 14s or 15s. If you're going with a single tube, yeah, you can probably get a box of 9mm for about $6,000 right now, or like $4,000. Like $3-4,000 is a good price for solid PVS 14s.
European or African single tubes.
Yeah. It's the elderberry filters, or the elderberry phosphorus.
God damn it! We've already got one.
Yeah. I wish I had a couple of coconuts right now. I would say 100% for your bone stock standard average shooter. That money is 100% better spent on ammunition. Because here's the thing, you know, night vision in terms of shooting, that is not a beginner level or even an intermediate level piece of equipment. Number one, it is prohibitively expensive. Why the fuck is he in here?
Why the fuck is who in
What?
here?
Why the fuck is he in here? Why did we give him authorization? Can you at least turn your camera on?
Oh,
Hey, why the fuck is
There
who
we
in here?
go.
What are you talking
Oh
about?
my god. All right, Brandon,
Shit.
Brandon, I
It's
got an
you.
impromptu question for you. All right.
What's up, buddy?
All right, so this is coming from Z Winner in the chat right now. He wants to know, is night vision a worthwhile investment, or would that money be better spent on ammo?
Oof, it depends on what part of the country you're in, because if you're in northern Canada, then you spend a larger part of the year in complete darkness.
Yeah, that
Whereas
is
if
also
you're-
an entirely different country. Not what part of the country, but an entirely different country.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, no, if you're like in Ecuador, Jesus. Do you really have to play the soundbite, Hypo? Really?
No, that's me. I can do this all day
What,
long.
me?
Hold on. I got new equipment here, bro. I got new. Check this out. Check this out. Give me some outlandish statement. Give me some outlandish statement.
556 is better than 545.
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no.
Nope,
To the
nope,
no,
nope,
no,
nope,
no.
nope, nope.
So honestly, I'm going to be honest. I was going to harass you here on Discord. I forgot I had access to this part of the chat.
Yeah, I
was gonna
forgot you
harass
did too,
and-
honestly.
I was going to harass you here and watch it live. And we're literally, me and Delands are having a writing weekend.
Oh, my boy.
And we're just like having a writing weekend. I'm like, I'm going to harass Tyler and see if he responds.
Hey,
and
little
then it
known
was
fact.
like, oh shit,
Little
I'm
known
here on the
fact.
screen.
Delance is my love interest.
Well, I'm not going to say I'm not interested.
Damn right you ain't. Oh, hold on. Excuse me.
Oh,
Delance,
you son of a bitch.
let's rephrase that question after this comment here.
Bitch, do you love me?
The correct answer is yes.
We will let you guys go. I'm so sorry. I thought I was literally just going to be harassing you, and then I ended up being on the stream. So
It's
I'm sorry.
totally fine. We're happy to have you, Brandon. Love you.
Love it.
Little video bomb from Brandon and
Bye.
Delance on their
Yeah.
beautiful writing moon weekend.
Fuck you.
Love you, bud.
Later, bud.
Later, man.
Little cameo there, but yeah, the ending
We
answer
gotta
is
fix that.
yeah. The ending answer is definitely it's better spent on ammunition. Let's move on probably to our final question of the evening. Maybe you can squeeze out one or two more, just for the sake of that just rude interruption. That rude interruption by a genuinely beautiful man, though. So we'll allow it. We'll allow it.
Yeah, this time. We're
That
talking about
hair
Delance again,
go.
right?
Yeah, both.
Okay.
Okay, so this next one comes from Canadian AR-15 guy. He wants to know, should ballistic rated yet stylish sunglasses be part of a regular EDC? Hypo, what do you think?
I wear them every day.
You wear ballistic glasses?
Yeah.
I
They're
do not.
Sunglasses.
Yeah, I do not.
I'm a nerd.
Yeah, yes, you are. So am I in,
Yes, I am.
in certain respects. But no, I really don't think that ballistic glasses need to be an EDC thing. Is it good to have them? Sure. Like, you know, when you're out at the range or maybe you do, like if you got them, you got them. If you don't, I don't think that it's...
I wind up I end up at the range like spontaneously. Like I'll be
you
at
have
work
the
and
luxury
they'll be
of-
like, "Hey, I got this
yeah.
new gun," and like, "Oh, well, let's go."
Yeah, you have the luxury of literally living 5 minutes away from one of the most
Yeah.
outstanding ranges I've ever seen in my entire life. So maybe circumstantially it would be like, for me, considering the fact that like if I go to the range, it's either an hour and 40-minute drive to get to a place where I can like shoot a Tundra video, or I'm going to an indoor range where I'm just going to be required to wear, glasses and foamies or over the ears. Are they great to have? Yeah, sure. They're definitely great. Like, more protection is always awesome. Tell that to the 21-year-old kid in college. But do I think it's necessary for an EDC? I would say absolutely not. Do you have to? Because I mean, them shits ain't cheap. Like a good pair of ballistic glasses, are, like the Oakleys or like the Wileys or something. They're gonna run you $200. That's half a gun for some people. That's 3/4 of a gun for the just as gooders out there. I would say once again,
you can get a KSG with that.
Yeah, right. Spend your money on ammo and wear, Walmart brand sunglasses. Some protection is better than nothing. And I've had a gun blow up on me. I've actually had 2 guns blow up on me while wearing, and I've taken frag in the face. Not related to Hypo's Raw Dogs and his cheddar explosions. But I have taken frag in the face from rifles and handguns exploding on me while wearing those, and they work just fine. Now, granted, if you take a ricochet from a 22 with Walmart sunglasses on, are they going to stop it? I'd be a little less confident about that. So, yes, more protection is always better. But at the same time, it's kind of the argument of saying, like, that's kind of getting up into the territory of saying, like, are plates a requirement for an EDC? That's true. Yeah. It's a bit of an exaggeration to prove the point, because we're now like operating in premium gear that not everybody can get into. So would I call it a requirement? Hell no, I wouldn't.
No.
Would I call it a luxury that is smiled upon? Yeah, sure, definitely. If you got them, flaunt it, dude. If you got it, flaunt it. Like, wear them, have fun with them, and kind of live in that comfort zone of saying, hey, at least my eyeballs are protected. What do you think?
I like it.
Cool. All right, let's get one more in here before we end the show tonight.
Real quick, if Brandon's still watching, he's can't respond to my DMs because we're not friends, so he needs to make sure that I'm his friend so I can return the love to him. Son of a bitch.
All right, this last one comes from Lag Demon, and Lag Demon would like to know, I like how everyone hates the look of the PX4, but if you took off the decocker and safety, it looks like an FN 509. No, in every way, Lag Demon. I'm sorry, but you're just wrong. If you took off so of a 509, in no way, shape, or form does a 509 look anything like a PX4 Storm, even without the decocker. In no way, shape, or form. The 509 is one of the, in my opinion at least, the sexiest looking handguns on the face of the planet. Especially, one of the unique aspects of the 509 is as the barrel gets shorter, it gets better looking, which is something none of us males have ever heard in our entire lives. The PX4, as the barrel gets shorter, it becomes progressively more atrocious. Like, it is an affront to God at its compact and subcompact level. That rotating bolt, or that rotating barrel, and the action, and that stubby barrel, it is literally... Yeah,
there's just a lot
it is
going wrong there.
Like, the Hague should be contacting Beretta for crimes against humanity because of the look of that gun. It is awful in every sense of the word, and just adding or subtracting a decocker does not make the 509 look anything like it, period, dot. Because all of that ugliness resides in that flat profile on the front of the barrel, and that ugly ass rotating bolt, or rotating barrel.
It's kind of like modern minivans and how they look like sick fish.
Yeah, it does.
It's just
it looks like the gun version of cancer, or like I don't know, like fucking diphtheria or something. Like, just yuck. Like, I want to vomit when thinking about the PX4, especially the compact and even more so the subcompact version. You guys know that I'm not the world's biggest fan of Beretta because of my time in the military. If you're in the military, generally speaking, you hate the 92 series, which is what Beretta is most famous for. Their attempt at competing. Oh man. Well, I don't work for him anymore, so I can't really get in trouble. When I was working at Cabela's, I met with the Oh no, this was in relation to the APX, which I actually think the APX isn't necessarily the worst handgun in the world, like I would think with the PX4. But the Beretta rep that I met while working at Cabela's was talking about, oh my god, Hypo, I hate you so much. So there's two things, there's two things I legitimately hate in this world. They're very different from one another. One of those things is the subcompact PX4 Storm. The other is mayonnaise.
I can confirm this.
Yeah,
confirm.
There are two things that make me physically ill to look at, and that is the PX4 Storm, which you just I'm consciously making an effort not to look at the chat right now, as you can see. I'm looking it's right
next
here.
Saturday I'm gonna show up with a jar of mayonnaise and a
right
spoon just eat it.
You'll
I'm gonna show up with a PX4 and dip it in mayonnaise.
That's what's gonna happen.
Yep.
That is
solo streams from this point on.
Oh my god. But I don't see. I can't look at the sky. I have to close Discord. I can't. I'm seriously. I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm not even lying. That gun makes me sick to look at. I cannot.
I made it go away.
I cannot look at it. It makes me uncomfortable to look at. Oh. PX4 in a mayo jar, Dr. Cat Milk. Come on, are you trying to kill me?
Yep. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start licking it off of the slide. It's gonna be the Hellman's edition. Nope.
Come on.
Questioning my choice in friends right now.
Oh, all right.
Let's do one more. Let's do one more to get that taste out of our mouths.
All right, fine. We got one more.
We got one last one.
We got the the Pookie Doodle. He's asking, what do you think the importance is, or what?
I think we answered this one. We did.
I don't remember doing this. Maybe I did.
I think we did. I think you were drunk.
Okay, fair enough. That's entirely possible. I'll do this one again real quick, and then we'll move on to the next one.
Okay.
What do you think the importance of a good belt is for the extra weight of an EDC, i.e., heavy duty leather, nylon, plastic core, steel core? I do think, yes, I actually do remember answering this. I do think that regardless of the material, it does need to be a wide belt, and maybe even more importantly, it is kind of based around not necessarily just the belt, but also the pants that you're wearing. Mm-hmm. So if you're wearing a non-EDC or non-carry style pant, you're working with very far-spaced belt loops, and those far-spaced belt loops cause that dip and that sag in the belt, regardless of its construction strength, just because there's less support to carry the weight of the gun, regardless if you appendix carry or 9 o'clock or 2 o'clock or 9 o'clock or 3 o'clock, or God forbid a 6 o'clock. If I had to pick if I had to pick a material, it would be some form of heavy duty nylon. I don't think that I would go with something like a leather belt or a steel core, because the steel core seems a little too intense, and the leather belt I feel like over time would lose its rigidity, where nylon is a synthetic material and holds up better to the test of time. But I would really more honestly focus on the spacing of my belt loops in my pants, so a good pair of Vertex pants, 511s, Victos pants, something from a company that's kind of designed around carry. That, I would argue, is probably the more important question, is how many belt loops do you run, for your belt? You do need to have Blue Alpha Gear makes great belts. They're more in the competition realm, but they do make some EDC style stuff. 511's probably the most accessible. I'm sure Vertex and Victos make stuff as well. There's 1,000,001 probably brands under the sun that you can buy. But I would stick with something synthetic, like a nylon or a polymer, maybe not a polymer, but a nylon style belt. I think that would be the most common. What do you think, Hypo?
I agree. I think that the belt doesn't matter as much as long as it is a good stiff material. Stiff, oh yeah. That's gonna hold up over time to constant. We're done.
All right, let's quick move on to the next one. He hasn't been featured on here in a while, so we'll end on this for the night. He says, Joe Linux wants to know, when you move out to Nevada, can you guys do a 48-hour testing of 0-degree sleeping bags outside? For the people that are actually in the tundra. This is funny. Joe is actually like saying he's in the tundra. That's hilarious. I appreciate that comedy, because while there are definitely places that are colder than where I currently live, I do believe, statistically speaking, that Minneapolis is the coldest city in the entire United States, sir. And I put my time in, homie. I put my time in.
I don't think the westernmost state, the big one that looks like a penis that's not free, is a tundra.
Here's my question to you, Hypo. Does it even get cold enough to do a 0-degree test?
No, I think our lowest temperatures here are like
30s?
No, yeah, 30s are average. I'd say the lowest I've seen is like 13.
That's like a summer day in winter for me. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt at 25 degrees during
We
the
had
summer.
people in the pool.
Yeah,
at the casino. They were just out there, just having a good old time, and they were from
Laughlin
Minnesota.
is essentially little Minnesota.
It is now.
Yeah,
We're gonna importing you people.
Bitch, we're gonna turn that thing into the Tundra Nation, literally.
Yeah.
like Don Laughlin has no idea what to expect.
That
right
population of 7,000 has just exploded.
Oh, we've got plans. We've got plans. If you're planning on moving and you're a fan of the Tundra Nation, you want to get into some Tundra videos, move to Laughlin, Nevada. Let's take that bitch over.
There goes my life.
Yep, there goes the neighborhood. All right, one more because we rifled through that one pretty quickly. Last one also hasn't appeared on ATN or Ask Tundra Nation here in a long time. 13th Apostle would like to know, what's your favorite round of them all? Handgun, rifle, it doesn't matter, and why? Or is there any interest in a double-barreled 12-gauge Shockwave full automatic? No, to that last question. I have zero interest in destroying my wrist and shoulder and general right side of my upper body for no reason, practical reason whatsoever. If I had to pick a favorite round of them all, you know, there's a part of me that wants to go full meme with this, but I'm going to go the opposite end and go full practicality and say 9mm. I think that just in terms of as a civilian, if I were answering this as a military guy, this question would be different, or this answer would be different. I would go with either a 5.56 or a 5.45. Would be just the most flexible round, because I'm looking at something that can do the maximum, have the maximum amount of flexibility in the widest range of range. That's not a word. Well, it is, range, but not in this case.
It is now.
Like widest array of scenarios, and with a 9mm pistol caliber carbine, like I've talked about many times before, you're effective out to 150 meters, which is significantly more than what the average person needs to be effective in, and significantly less than the average person is proficient in, which is a big factor.
Yeah, that's true.
So a 9mm gives you the advantage of having both your carbine and your pistol chambered in the same round. And I know that's kind of a fuddy thing, like it's the whole justification for 45 in the early pistol caliber carbines is, oh, I just want my pistol and my rifle to be chambered in the same round. Well, yeah, okay, cool. It's a selling point in this particular aspect. It's not really a selling point in matter of fact in real life, but it is a selling point in this particular aspect. Something like an AKV9, something like a SIG MPX, the Strybog series, Brugger and Thormet, there's a reason why they're becoming as popular as they are over the last 2 years. And it's because people are realizing the fact that I don't necessarily, I like my 5.56 rounds. I like what they can do out to 300 yards. But in reality, okay, unless... by the way, took your advice, started watching The Rain.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Unless, something like The Rain happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most of my engagements are going to be between 5 and 25 meters away. Why do why do I need a 5.56 round? Why do I need a 7.62 by 51? Why do I need a DMR?
What do you carry most?
So I'm looking at this question from a strictly practical standpoint and saying the 9mm, because like I've said in the past, you can find 9mm rounds that penetrate pretty damn good, maybe not just as good, right, as as like a 40 or a 357 SIG. But you can also find 9mm rounds that are light and fast that hit pretty much close to as hard as a 45. So you have this wide, we in the audio industry and the video industry like to call this dynamic range. You have this big difference between capabilities. You can have something that penetrates pretty darn well, maybe not perfect, right?
Oh yeah.
But pretty darn well. You have something that hits really hard. So if you're like me and you're living up in the great state of Minnesota, where one day you're carrying a firearm, you're carrying your 9mm, and the 17 layers of clothing can act as pseudo body armor. Not really, but pseudo body armor. You want to carry something that's a little heavier, a little slower moving, and can penetrate a little bit better. Whereas during the summertime, you want something hard and fast, and just crushes whatever it hits. And you can find that with 9mm. It's very difficult to find that with any other caliber. And then you take your FMJ rounds and you put that into a pistol caliber carbine, you give it that extra barrel length, and now you have something that's capable of defensive, dare I say, offensive engagements in a militaristic scenario. If the military is using a carbine of some kind, a subgun of some kind, now you have something that's capable of engagements out to 100 to 150 yards, theoretically, practically, probably out to like 50 to 75 yards, which is way more than the average civilian needs. So I think that just the AR, or excuse me, not the AR, but the 9mm is the most flexible round, and the industry has reflected that many, many times over with its effort to innovate on the options available presently. That was a damn good answer. Minus rip. Well, I guess more in terms of the firearms available in the caliber. If you look, like, what is the most like pushed caliber at this point in time? It's the 9mm PCCs.
Sure. Yeah. Those things have just exploded in the last 2 years.
There's a reason for that. People are they're getting the picture.
Things like Endomag and other things that convert your standard lowers are really a hot thing. So.
Albert Trujillo dropping the hashtag Tundra Nation. We are trying to make that a thing. So in the videos that you guys see from us in the future, if you guys want a response from me personally, make sure you can include even the hashtag Tundra Nation. And with that, guys, I think that we are going to be ending the show here tonight. It was a supremely fun show with all of the...
Nope. Hell no.
All right, hold on.
No.
Give it to me, Hypo. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Give me that hype, man. Come on. Give it to me. Come on, baby. To the no. All right, boys.
Oh, I forgot to take the effect off. Guys, it's been fun. It's been a great time. We've had a ton of fun. You know what I haven't done yet? Hold on. This is the fun one I haven't played with. Stand by.
Hypalexia, I just want to let you know that you are a damn fine-looking man.
I didn't say that. I don't even know who said that right now. But guys, we've had a lot of fun tonight. Thank you for bearing with us as we're learning some of the new things like.
Hello, I need to speak to somebody who can speak a Chinese.
Tufu, if you're still watching, I'm sorry. You know what we never did.
Huh? What did we not do?
I'm really upset with myself for forgetting this, but we're not gonna let a show go by without it. Party on, Garth.
Party on, Wayne.
And that one goes out to Dr. Cat Milk. Thank you very much for the reminder. I appreciate it. Guys, this has been the Tundra Nation, episode number 9. Only number 9. It feels like it's been longer than that. It really does. It does feel like it's been longer than that. But we have taken a couple of breaks. We have some technical issues. Life has not been kind to us in terms of... scheduling, timing. So I will say, guys, we appreciate your patience with the channel and just being kind of dynamic and flexible, to use some of the industry terms. But we genuinely appreciate your support, your care, your love for the channel and the Tundra Nation. And while I pour this last drink and get the last toast set up to continue on with the tradition, I will let Hypo close everything out.
Oh, it's on me. Guys, we love you. Thank you so much. Join the Discord if you're not there already. Join in on the love and the fun. And hopefully we'll see you guys next week when
we still don't know.
Might know what the fuck.
There's no fucking way.
What the beep?
You know what I have to say to that?
Hello.
Nope, that's not it.
Hell no. To the no, no, no.
Hold on.
Hell to the no.
Give it to me, baby. Give it to me. Come on, Hypo. Send it. Make Mullen go proud. Make Mullen go proud.
If anybody's looking for a co-host for a show, please message me.
All right, guys.
Respect's still on.
This last toast goes out to the Tundra Nation. Cheers, guys. We love you so much. We wouldn't be doing this without you guys and your support. To everybody in the Patreon, to everybody that's donated via PayPal, an extra special thank you goes out to you guys. To our Discord members, life literally would not be as enjoyable without you. I know that there are many days when I wake up that I just look forward to being on Discord and hanging out with everyone who games with us, who feeds us ideas for the videos. I know that Hypo, you have not had the greatest experience of life over the course of the last few months, and I know that the Discord has helped you out a significant amount. So to our fans, to the Tundra Nation, cheers to you guys. This one's for you. We love you. We love you. And with that being said, we are off, guys. We will see you guys next week when, like Hypo said, we still don't know. We might not know. Maybe we know. Who knows what the fuck we're doing. See you guys. We